Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Yes, today we are finally back with oxygen not included. But first of all, let's take a look who is already here in chat. We have Keonis and Words, Elfie is here, Katrina is back as well. We have Dimitris, Croc Pro Player, and Killjoy are all already here. Thank you all for joining. Truly, truly appreciate that. How is everybody doing today? Hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday. Last time around, the stream was a little bit short. It was also a little bit, problematic with them calls from work and all kinds of nonsense, so we didn't really get as far as we wanted to, but hopefully we can rectify that today. And yes, of course, Words is correct. Today we are also going to try out a new technology, which is hopefully a polling system between Twitch and YouTube as well. So we will see how that goes. Looks like we also have Tag here. We have Doc number 27 and Dragon just joined us as well. Thank you all and welcome to the stream. Okay, last time around we did start to remake this system right here. That's right, all of this here. All the piping has to be redone. The cooling loops had to be redone. So yeah, that's what the dupes are working on right now, so that's good. And the one thing that we did complete is we did upgrade our Volcano tamer right here. Let's see. We have the two thermal tuners right here, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, temperature at negative 15 degrees Celsius. And right up here on the top, we are at 12.6. So, yeah, with two of them, we will definitely hold up. Okay, let's see. Oh, Words, you did try it? Hold on one second here. Let me see. Words. Let me go over here real quick. Every new technology, of course, every time has a couple of issues. How else would it be? And we will see if we can rectify that or not. Okay, yeah, Killjoy, you definitely can't do that. Let's see. Alright, there we go. I think I just restarted the system, or only I can do it, one or the other. But this here is what it's going to look like. Oh, and it works. Maybe one of you, maybe a handful of you can try with a $sign. It's not exclamation point, it's a $sign, vote, and then the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, as it is on the screen. So, for example, nope, Elfie is, for example, vote 1. Something like this here. And that should then hopefully show up on screen, something like that. There we go. There we go. So that is what that should look like. The timer is set for 60 seconds. You can only vote once. You cannot change your vote. Your vote is permanent, and it should work on Twitch and on YouTube. And it should not matter which platform you choose. And if we have a draw at the end, the poll will automatically just choose something random. In this case right here, we can see option number 1 as won, and that is displayed in both chats. All right, so watch about the new technology. That's how it's going to work. And then the result is going to be displayed for 10 seconds. And we should be able to use that for all sorts of fancy stuff in the future, hopefully. Okay, let's take a look around. What else do we have going on? The oil well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's right. I killed the access right here. Are we still producing? Yes, we are still producing. And how much do we have left? Oh, the pipe's not even empty yet. So that must have just stopped. We literally just emptied out, or we are literally in the process of emptying out the pipe. Then we have still 2 reservoirs, plus how many? 2, 4, 6, 7 reservoirs worth of petroleum. I would argue that is plenty. That is plenty. We can let this here run for a little bit longer. We have 10 tons of plastic, and we have our main ladders made out of plastic. That's great, but a few more ladders in the future will definitely require plastic, and plastic is in general a good thing to have a little bit of a surplus, I would think. Okay, up here at the top, dupes need to build this right here, and then right here, this here is going to be our tank. At least that's the plan here. Let's see. Yeah, right here, the last few tiles, everything on the outside here has been built. There are some extra pieces that we will not need anymore that we can rip out, like this here, for example, and also this here, for example, as well. We can rip those out, but we will need to get us some water from somewhere. And that's probably going to be the bigger issue. We do need to have that up here if we like it or not. It needs to be nearby, and it needs to be always ready to help out in case this thing here overloads. Maybe it doesn't work with U-words for some reason. Annoying, not annoying, kind of annoying, but necessary. maybe I can only do it, or there's another issue, but we will figure it out in due time. Either way, that is how the system here is going to work. Let's ensure that that happens. First of all, down here on the ground, we need to grab us some water and see how we can get it up there. And Killjoy with 10 gifted memberships to the channel. Killjoy, truly appreciate that. And let's take a look here. We have Radek, we have Dark Show, we have Tamer, we have Remco, YP, Puzzlina, Highborn Chase, Housefur, Mark Brockbank, and Cherry. All got a gifted membership from Killjoy. Once again, Killjoy, you're the MVP. Truly appreciate that, man. Really do. Okay, water. Our objective is water. How do we get water up there? And do we already have a pipe that we can maybe somewhat utilize? And I already have my eyeball on this pipe right here. Yep. If we snip that right there, and if we snip that right here, yeah, look at that. We just have to extend it a tiny little bit. As a matter of fact, instead of ripping all of this here out, why not leave this here, take this one pipe right here, bring it up to the top, and maybe, just maybe, grab us a liquid vent and plop it here as well. And then we can go ahead and snip off this here. And all that is left to do is connect these two here together. Very nice. Pretty straightforward. And that should be the fastest possible way, or path better to say, to get up here with water. Now just the tail end of it, of course, as well. Let's bring our insulated liquid pipe all the way through here. We just need to find a path to get through here, and the path is up here all the way on the top. Sure, why not? Might as well. And this is just a temporary build. We're gonna rip that back out right after we have accumulated enough water. Now the next thing is we need to get to some water. Yeah, let's see. Right here. And I'm just gonna go ahead in plumbing, and we're gonna grab us a filtered liquid pump. We're gonna build it out of literally anything, doesn't matter. We're gonna plop it maybe right there, because again, why not? Might as well. And then bring our piping system through here, almost like that, not exactly, but almost. In plumbing, let's grab us a, where are you at? A liquid bridge. And bring it onto here. Here, there, and last but not least, right here as well. Alright, that should be buildable. And you know what? Yeah, the heavy conductive wire is all the way right here. For our purposes, we're gonna build it also down here. Again, super duper temporary, only to grab some water. Why do you keep doing this? Yes. That's a good question, but now we know where it's apparently currently there's a problem with starting it from YouTube. Well, now we know that I have still something to look into. But yeah, at least it works. You can vote from YouTube. You may not be able to start from it, but that is totally okay. Yeah, there's nothing left to do down here on the bottom. We have another minor volcano, but it's blocked off. Hydrogen vent. I mean, it's just sitting here. Actually, are we? Are we doing anything with it? No, this has been sitting here forever, hasn't it? And just doing absolutely nothing. It's also dormant for another 49 cycles. Yeah, we're gonna do nothing here at all. Alright, let's keep building. Let's keep building this here. The rest of the piping, so we can get the water up here. And that is almost everything that we need to get this here started. Because we're also going to use this water here for startup. Clearly, we need steam in here and whatnot. And for that, we, of course, need water. So, let's see if we can make that happen. As long as voting from YouTube works, we're fine. I agree. I will keep messing dollar with @ Yeah, I just had to choose something. Like, the only thing that I couldn't choose was exclamation point, because it wouldn't play nice with Nightbot and whatnot. It just wouldn't work. So I was like, you know what? Why not just try the old $sign? And if that doesn't work out for some other reason that I didn't consider, then we can always change it in the future. But for right now, that's what we are gonna go with. Okay, rest of this piping here is coming in. That's gonna be great. In case you're also wondering what this here is, this here is going to be a emergency bypass, basically. So right here, we're gonna have a pump that is always gonna be on. Yes, we're gonna eat the 240 watts. That's fine. We're gonna bring that water all the way over to right here into this bridge. And theoretically speaking, these 4 or 5 steam turbines right here should always be running. Therefore, this insulated liquid pipe here should always be full with, 10 kilograms worth of water. Yeah, 10 kilograms of water should always be in here if the system here is running properly. If that is for some reason not the case, then the water that is in this pipe right here will be added into this pipe and start cooling down our research reactor as an emergency reaction, so it doesn't blow up. That's the idea. That is an emergency bypass right here, and that's what we are going to use it for, just in case you were curious. But yes, for that we need also our water tank. Let's put it in. 1932's at Nightbot will not be disrespected, that's right. We did decide to work around Nightbot until I can figure out how to use StreamerBot for everything, but that's a whole nother topic. We're not talking about that, at least not in front of Nightbot, alright? Okay, also here, dupes. If you have nothing else to do, why not just grab some stuff right here and put it into our infinite storage? Might as well. Lowest priority, though. As I said, just in case you have nothing else to do, then you can do something like that. Actually, that's not even infinite storage. They're just putting it here to the automatic dispenser. Deconstruct that and kill it. There we go. I meant the actual real infinite storage in the middle of our base. Yes, this bad boy right here is what I meant by that. That would be nice. Okay, liquid vent is still missing. Other than that... Okay, a little bit of piping right here. That's okay. This is only 4 high though. Yep. Yeah, a little bit of piping down here on the bottom left. But the dupes will get to it. It's just a little bit problematic with the natural gas, the chlorine, and the carbon dioxide in this area right here. Not really the most friendly atmosphere for our duplicates. Okay, but progress is being made. How are we doing with our telescope right here, by the way? Let's take a look at the star map. Yeah, it looks like everything that can be researched has been researched, and we didn't really find a hell of a lot. We're really close to finding a lot, but we just barely didn't uncover it. That's really unfortunate, but yeah. That is really unfortunate. Alright, dupes, come on, finish this here up so we can get the water up there. Because what we already have in here is a little bit of enriched uranium. We just need a little bit more. But we will get to that as well. Alright, so far so good. We will need a little bit of power right here as well. I believe that is the correct one. Yep. Just making sure. This one wire right here. What the hell is all on this wire? Oh, it's all of these atmosuit docks. And lead suit docks. Okay, yeah, that's why. Okay. Alright, it also has meteor blasters on it. Holy cow. We built a little bit of a disaster here, didn't we? And what is going on with this here? This here is also getting close to the potential load. That is mainly because of the vacuum pumps right here. That we really don't need anymore. We can just rip those out. Realistically speaking, it's not... Yeah, it's actually going to give us exactly 180 watts, so that will solve the problem. Let's kill them. We already have a tile right here. It's fine. We don't need to pump this stuff here out into space. It will take care of itself in due time. We're not in a hurry. At least not with that. Also, this liquid vent is built out of wolframite. That seems a little bit drastic, dupes. A little bit drastic. Just saying. Just saying. You can disconnect the power lines to those pumps to cut the power now. That is very true. We can do that as well. That is a good call. Not that it matters too much, actually. The dupes already did it. Already happened. Too late. That was fast. That was super fast. Dupes are on their feet today. That's great to see. Just when it comes to building stuff, we're apparently not that much on our feet. But yeah, can't win them all. Just how it goes sometimes. Just a little sanity check right here real quick. We're coming in material-wise at about 14 degrees. That's totally okay. 20 degrees. My goodness, that's perfect. And then right here, all the copper also at around 15 to 20 degrees. It's not an issue in any way, shape, or form at all. That's great to see. Gotta love that. Absolutely. Okay. Still need water up here. Then we need to get going here with our loop. So this here is also a loop. I cannot have the water just sit in this pipe right here. The reason being is that this pipe goes through the steam chamber, so eventually the water would heat up, it would break the pipe and cause all sorts of problems that we just can't avoid by bringing the water around if this bridge here is blocked. That's the entire reason for this build right here. And we're basically just bringing it back here past the space line back into the atmosphere and dropping it down back into our reservoir. So the net loss should be 0 over time, except for energy, of course. Alright, dupes, come on, make it happen. Just a little bit faster would be nice. What else can we do in the meantime? How many databanks do we have? Do we still have any left over? Did we utilize them all? Like, what happened with them? We have none. That's cool. What did we do with them? Are we researching anything right now, or was it just enough for our improved hydrocarbons propulsion system? Any data analysis research here has been completed. Looks like we started on high velocity destruction, but currently we have nothing in the queue. We also started on projectiles. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, yeah, why not? Let's start right here with the top 3 researches. Those can be done. Dupes can work on that. And we get databanks here in due time. How does this thing look on the interior, by the way? What are we working with here? We were working with 18.6 kilograms worth of oxygen. Okay. Got plenty of oxygen going around. We also have 13.5 kilograms worth of carbon dioxide down here in the corner. That's amazing. What else do we have going on? In our fridge right here, we have not a lot. As a matter of fact, we do have a hell of a lot. Oh, it shows 0 kilocalories because... Oh, we have a hell of a lot in here, actually. It shows 0 kilocalories because we are grounded. That's why. The outhouse here has how many uses left? I can't really see that. It's actually full to the brim. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Let's see. Right here. There's nothing stopping us from just sending this thing here back to space. God damn it, words. Apparently there's a maximum amount of words you can put in there. If nothing else, again, we learned that, if nothing else. Okay, other than that, change the crew. Goof is still here, that's fine. The destination is right there. Let's begin the launch sequence, because why not? In the interior, let's change the interior building restrictions to none. Now we have 228,000 kilocalories, that's more like it. Let's see if we can get Goof in there so he can go back up there. So yeah. Okay. And there goes our rocket, once again up into space with Goof. Goof, you can go ahead and unequip your suit, and you can start making more databanks forever. Oh, don't tell me we have no plastic up here. Did somebody actually grab the plastic out of here? I had 5 tons in here at one point in time. Really, dupes? Gotta be kidding me. Alright, we're not going to space. Because we don't have any bloody plastic left over. And we did not make anywhere near that many databanks, by the way. So yeah, there should have been some left over. Plenty, actually. Plenty left over. Where's Goof? There you are. Put your suit back on. Grief. Go back there. Where is the plastic? Right here. We have, for example, 10 tons. I'm literally just gonna go relocate. There we go. Into our rocket. Put it here on the floor, please. Here you could load it up in a storage tile under the pooper. We could load it up in a storage tile under a pooper. That is actually a pretty decent idea, but since we just have it laying around on the ground anyway, it's really easy to grab it. So I think in general, it's a great idea. Killjoy, amazing. But since I can't grab it so easy on the ground, I can just transfer 10 tons up there. It should be okay. In this particular instance. Okay. Why are there so many dupes down here? What are they doing? What are they doing? That's what they're doing, you suckers. That is insane. Come on, dupes. Wait, what are we doing? Oh, because I stopped sweep only. I meant to turn off manual, not sweep only. That's fine. We don't need this one right here. Instead of putting it in here, they're literally trying to put it into every other nook and cranny the dupes can find. Do I have another one somewhere? This one you can only do Mercury. Okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure that the dupes are not... So I was like, why are there so few Admiral Suit dogs here? Something fishy's going on. And sure enough, something fishy was going on. Tag says, well, it wouldn't hurt to make it take less space on the screen. That is a good call. That is something that can be accommodated in a heartbeat, though, for the next one. Let's see, just like this. Okay. And even though you can tell, or should be able to tell, nothing on your end, it should have already gotten smaller. And do we already have one ready, by the way? Yeah, why don't we do a real one? How about that? Forgotten printing pod is here. All right, we have 4 options available as usual, plus the reject all button. We have an auto. By the way, let me start that one. I think I still have that one saved. Yeah, there we go. I will start this one right away, and I will read it while you guys can vote. We have an auto, tidying +10, innately stylish with increased decor, is undigging and gastrophobic. We have a Lyra with rocketry, ranching and building, is uncultured as a diver's young, is yokel but is narcoleptic. We have a shrine nymph. Yeah, just one shrine nymph. Why is there so much here? That's actually surprising. But we have also a Maya, doctoring +10, innately stylish, and undigging. Those are the 4 options on the top, plus a reject all button on the bottom. And you have 30 seconds left to vote between Twitch and between YouTube. It shouldn't matter. Those are the options on the screen. Option 1, 2, 3, and 4 from the left to the right. That's how we are going to do this. A little bit of a graphical glitch there for a second. That's okay. But overall, it seems to be working pretty well. Option 3, the Shine Nymph, is way ahead with 6 votes right now. That is awesome. 3 seconds left. And the option, or the winner, is option 3. Option 3 is the Shine Nymph. We are going to grab us a Shine Nymph. And the only problem is I really don't know what to do with the Shine Nymph. I guess we're just going to let it go crazy here in the middle, because why not? As long as it doesn't end up in a bathroom, in a bedroom, I mean. It will definitely end up in a bedroom, won't it? Yeah, probably. It's okay, though. We will fix that, or deal with that issue once it arises. Why is no water flowing? That's why I never set this one here up to water. So let's set it up to water, and let's pump some water. The temperature here doesn't really matter. Okay, let's bring this up all the way to the top, and let's fill up this reservoir here nicely to the top. It's not that big. Looks like it's 32 tiles, 32 tons of water is what we're going to transfer up here. But we need that, most definitely, to keep us safe. Scheinberg Reactor? Scheinberg Reactor, yes, we can also think about that at some point. But right at the moment, we are actually dealing with a real reactor. So, yeah. We will have to see how that goes. Okay, so far so good. Really, really like this so far. Water should be arriving here any moment. There we go. Let's turn it up a second. Oh, there we go. All right. And right at the moment, we can also see our pump here is already starting. It may be a little bit premature. It's a little bit pointless as of this moment because it's not really going to do anything. So let's stop it. Let that rotate around here. Well, actually, it's going to end up in here because it's not going to be full 10 kilograms. Now it is. This here is full now, and now it's going to come around, as it should, and drip down back in. And let's fill this here up, so we can start working with it. Very, very good. And that is basically more or less the last step that we need to complete to start the system here up. At least from a pure, what do we need on this side here to start it. But now the next question is going to be down on the bottom. We do have a liquid pump that just happens to sit here in midair, not really doing a hell of a lot. But yeah, that thing here will have to do something. It has some kind of function. We didn't just put it in here for the fun of it. So let's see what we can make happen with that. We will grab all of the nuclear waste that will be emitted from the research reactor, and we will have to transfer it somewhere. The bigger question is, where exactly is somewhere? That is what we need to figure out. So let's see. Actually, the game can play. No need to stop this here for that. So let's see. We should probably utilize this space right here in some kind of capacity. Don't know yet exactly what that will look like. A little bit of trial and error probably required for it. But let's see what we can fit. How much space do we have? 24 tiles. For that, I will pause it real quick. All right, let's go through this. I think the best option for a tank will be right here probably. And we're just going to build it out of manual airlocks because actually, why not? I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Copper, cinnabar ore. It doesn't really matter too much, does it? Well, let's make it iron ore. And let's build it like this. We're going to put one right here, one right here. I need to get 3 high right here. So let's go one more. I need to get rid of the ladders first. 1 second, ladders have to go. And then right on this side right here. Yeah, that's how we're going to build this here. Okay, so we're going to have this here ready in just a second. But we will also need to make sure... Actually, that's not going to work. Hold on. Yeah, no, I need... Actually, no, that's not going to work. I need to do this here differently. I could, for example, change it to have a airflow tile on the bottom. And an air lock door here, here, and here. Yep, that'll do it. Yep, that'll do it. Alrighty, perfect. Want dupes get blasted with radiation? Hopefully not by the time we are done here. Obviously, we are going to restrict their access to this area. Also to this area right here. But for the time being, it should be okay. Also, there will be suits around the area. But no, dupes shouldn't have to access this area here anymore. Okay, should be fine. Everything good. Let's lock the doors, lock the doors. Lock the doors. And build the doors. All good, right here. That's what we want. Okay. At least I hope this bug here still works, right? Well, is it a bug? I don't know. What I'm thinking of... Maybe you guys can tell me. Maybe one of you knows. What I want to do is build a red belt generator right here. And then the red belt generator is going to aim right into this corner right here. Where I am, in fact, going to build a... where are we at? Radiation. A red belt reflector that's going to look something like this here. And then probably, let's see, how many red belt chambers can I fit here? In radiation, once again, red belt chambers. How big are those things? Let's see. Should I leave a tile open? Yeah, I need my return. My return is going to be at the end. So let's see if how many I can fit here. Maybe that works out in our favor. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Built out on nickel, that's okay. Doesn't really matter too much. Can I make this here happen? Can you not use lead beer, says Katrina, for what? What am I using lead for? Lead suits, you mean? I don't know what you mean, exactly. But I mean, yes, lead is usable. Maybe the generator is different, says Kevin. Corner shooting got changed in the recent past. It still works, but it's quirky. I'll see if I can find the vid I saw. So the last time that I checked, it was working to the bottom right. It wasn't working to the bottom... bottom right. It was not working to the top right. So I don't know if that is still the case. I guess we will find out. But let's see. We are going to get it into here. Into here, we need another red bolt reflector right here that transfers it over to the right through here. If it leaves the rear, we're going to bring it up to the top, around. We're going to bring it back to the left. And we are going to bring it probably, honestly, just right here, back downwards. Yeah, why not? I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason at all. Why not? Let's make that happen. The only thing is... No, that's fine. We can just build the repelled reflectors that we need 1 or even 2 tiles further above here to combine the power of those repelled chambers. Should be fine. Kevin says, I'm not sure if you're just not reading aloud, but you're missing some context. For what? I set up a farm with Gristle Blossom feed to set up for Sport Child Serum. Like, what? I don't even know what I'm reading currently. Maybe the generator is different. The one I tried was top right. Maybe that's why. I don't know what I'm missing. Sorry. But I will try this here. We'll see how it goes. Words, can the doors be made of lead to protect radiation? They could be. I guess. Would that help a lot? I mean, let's see. Why not? Let's change one of them. Or can they not be? Maybe they can be. Maybe I'm just dead wrong and they cannot be. No, they cannot be. Interesting. All right, well. Panda, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you. Right here, we will need more power up top. Looks like you already have it. And it's going to be literally this wire right here. That is going to power all of this here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, right? 6 times 120 plus 240 plus 480. It's totally fine. Gold Amalgam, I think, is the worst for radiation protection of available for doors. Is it really? I actually don't know the radiation blocking abilities of the different materials. It's not something that I memorize. Multi says for waste storage, there's not much point shielding it, as once there's enough mass, it has 100% blocking. I guess that makes sense. Also, the range is negligible of the rads. I guess that makes sense. Mass also affects radiation blocking. Makes even more sense, of course. Elfie says there was a video put in the Discord about which way the corner shoot was working. Think you need a gap of 1 to shoot upright and no gap to shoot downright. There was a video a long time ago. I don't even remember who made it. About exactly how it works. Did I turn this here back on? Yes, I did. Too early. Chill. And you to the bottom right. You can stay on. It's fine. We will also go ahead and grab us out here, whatever this here is. Looks like some regolith. That's okay. And then last but not least, we will need, of course, a pipe that is coming from this pump right here. And how are we going to get this here up there in the easiest, best possible method? Let's see. Let's come through here all the way straight. And let's bring it all the way through. I don't even know. Unfortunately, this pipe here is temporary, so... yeah, it would be perfect to go through here eventually. But for right now, it has to go up here. It's unfortunate, but that is what has to happen. We can bring it back over right here and bring it up to the top. That's fine. Not as nice as I would like it to be, but I didn't consider that earlier. I also did not know yet what I'm going to build, so there's that, I suppose. I guess that explains why I did not consider it, because I did not know yet. That is also in every single one of them the wrong direction. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going to go this way, and this way, and this way. Come on. Think. Then build. In that particular order, preferably. Perfect. Alright, lots more that needs to be done here. Let's make it happen. And unkindly, Steve-O is here. Says hello there. Hello, Steve-O, and thanks for joining today. Truly appreciate that. Okay, very good. Everything else, the regolith right here, let's give it a higher priority. Let's get it out of there so we can close this here off for good very, very soon. Also, something we need to do is unlock a new blueprint. That is a little bit of a necessity here. Because we should have plenty of them. Since last week, we were not really able to open them either. But what do we have here? We have gold knit gloves. Produces a pleasantly muffled whoomp when high-fiving. In common quality. I don't think I've seen those. Gold knit gloves? Seem new. Or at least new to me. Not new to the game, probably. New to me. Okay. Everything's perfect. Everything's coming along, slowly but steadily. Everything is doing its job as it should. And this hydro sensor right here, we're going to set to above. So if this here is above 500 kilograms, that would mean that this here is completely covered in nuclear waste. Only then this this liquid pump here turns on. And that should be fine. All right. Very, very good indeed. Beer, isn't there a wall piece you can use for rat shooting? There is a wall piece. It's called the rat bolt joint plate right here. The only problem with that is I don't think that this thing here is good for infinite storage. Don't think so. And Celestian, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Truly, truly appreciate that. For 5 months, that is absolutely amazing. Again, truly, truly appreciate that. It would melt and pressure damage, yet would also melt, very true, because it is made from plastic. Gotta keep that in mind. That stuff here is obviously gonna be very hot, but definitely the pressure, at the bare minimum, would get it. Ulti says he tested it. That's even better. That's even better. We have a first-hand account of what happens at best-case scenario. Always. Okay, everything here looks decent. Everything here looks good, even. I kind of wish that the radiation in here would already be a little bit bigger so we can see the first rat bolt with 50 rat bolts fly and see if it actually works. It wouldn't, though, because these here are not set up at all. But let's set them up the way it's supposed to be. The way I have it in my head looks something like this here. The only other thing, though, that I should probably remind myself of is automation. We do need some automation. Like, for example, right here, we have automation wires. And we have right here, sends a green signal when the rat bolt storage is full. We don't want a green signal when it's full. That's kind of pointless. We don't need a green one. We actually need rather a red one. And that's going to be a bigger problem. We will have to see how we can figure this out. And I believe the best option is several AND gates, right? It's going to look like a little bit of a problem. Want it floods the rat device. Oh, the rat bolt generator? No, rat bolt generator doesn't care. Rat bolt generator does not care. Let me think about the automation real quick here. I need to concentrate or I will mess it up. I know myself too well. So let's see here. We have automation wires coming out of here and out of here. Out of here and out of here. Out of here and out of here. So that is actually perfect because that allows me to put in 3 AND gates. Somewhere like, for example, right here, and right here. That should be pretty nice looking. Bring these here down. There we go. Something just like this here. And now the symmetry will stop because that's just not how it works. Now we are going to put one more AND gate. Why not, for example, right here? Yep. And then last but not least, one last AND gate. That is right here. Somewhere, really. Doesn't really matter too much where exactly. We can put it... Doesn't matter a tiny little bit, I suppose. Right here. That'll do it. Bring this in and up. And this one in, up, and all the way up. All right. Now, we have all of our signals combined to one singular signal. Which means if all of these here are full, we are going to set this one signal here to green, and only then. And if that is the case, we got to reverse that signal to red. And then we can bring it up here. All right. Okay. That should give us full control over whatever we want to do, in case we need to add more in the future or anything else. Yeah, let's bring this here on. Doc number 27 says, don't you only need to monitor the fullness of the last one, not all of them? Technically, that is correct, yes. Technically, we only need to do the last one, but if we want to do anything in the future and change it around, we need to be careful. Or, no, we don't need to be careful. It's just another way of doing it. Trying to find a downside of only monitoring the last one compared to doing it this way. I mean, it only matters if we would want to, like, remove something in the back. Not sure why we would want to do that, but that would be the only way. So yeah, I think you're right. You're right, Doc number 27. It would have been easier to just monitor the last one. I agree with that. Yep, you're right. Didn't consider it. And here we are. That would have been a more efficient solution. Agreed. 100%. Just had to think about it for a second to make sure I'm not talking nonsense. But okay, either way around, it will work the way it is. So it's fine. And we're going to leave it for the time being. We're going to start it up. We will need some ladders. Actually, yeah, that's 5-5. Didn't realize that's 5-5 because I was thinking if that actually makes sense. But yeah, that will do it. All right, dupes, do it. Lock all the ones that we don't need so we don't forget that later. Only the one right here should stay open for the time being. And it looks like there's some granite in here now. Get rid of that too, please, will you? Let's make it happen. Elfie says, Rebel corner shoots, so for down both ways, no gap. For up both ways, you need a gap of 1 space. Okay, so basically this will work, is what I'm reading. Good, very good. Why not? How's our water looking down here in the bottom? Should have removed several tons of water by now, which I'm sure we did. Good, that is fine. Let's keep on building this here. Let's not get hasty, because that is when you make most mistakes. Not just true for oxygen not included, but also for the rest of life as well. Let's lock it. Well, I don't think we have to go back in here again. That's made from obsidian, it should be fine. Did you fix the thing near the left side where the dupes couldn't reach some pipes as they were 5 tiles up? I can see where I was talking about. He did. Okay, good. How are we doing up here? In here, I mean. Not up here. We have 9.5 tons of plastic in here. I think that's sufficient. The outhouse has only 70 kilograms worth of dirt left. I really need you guys to work on this here a little bit more, guys. Can I clean the toilet, please? Someone. And as soon as that is done, we're gonna go back to space and make that happen. How about that? Fun fact, you can feed any type of water into the research reactor. I actually did not know that, OT. Really? You can't just feed it polluted water? I did not know that. I actually thought it needed water. Does it have a downside if you feed it anything else but actual water? If you feed it salt water or polluted water? It'll still heat it. I believe that. Huh. The Septimus is here and says morning all, though I should probably sleep. Yeah, it's how it just goes sometimes in life. Purifier. So what happens with the materials that just fall out? Exactly, like Kevin is asking, is it like an alternative separator and you get the byproduct drop too? That's actually cool. So if you have a big pocket of bullshit sitting around somewhere that you want to get rid of, if in doubt, feed it into your research reactor. That's actually cool. Did not know that. Learned something new today. Thank you, Ulti. Learned something new today. Love it when that happens. What I'm going to do here is, though, I'm also going to send the dupes in here. And I'm going to build something that looks like this here. Probably wondering, what the hell? Why don't you just feed it into here? Well, I don't want to start the research reactor. It's too early. We need to first create, in a perfect world at least, a little bit of steam. I don't know if we will be able to do that with so many ladders in here. And such a very short cooling loop with the water being at 30 degrees. So we will see. We will see. if that is enough to at least get us a little bit of steam. In a perfect world, the steam would be enough to reach all the way up here to this thermoaquatuna. If we can get a steam level up here, even if it's a single gram, that's enough. That would be perfect. Just in case you're wondering what the plan here is, that is the plan. Also, while we're at it, a little bit of cleaning up after ourselves here. Grab it and get rid of it. We needed the more you know emote. I like that, Kevin. That is a great idea. That is an amazing idea, actually. An emote specifically for when a viewer teaches me something new, or us, not just me, probably. Like, probably not the only one who haven't heard that before. That's a great idea, actually. Love it. Okay, last few pipes here are being built, but yeah, again, research reactor. Don't want to turn that on. Gonna put just a little bit more water in here. We don't want to overfill it or anything stupid, but I do want to have it at least all the way up to this tile. Temporary metal refining, make some steel. That could work. Kevin says this one was definitely an us teaching moment. Right? That's what I thought too. We'll get you steam quickly. You do have a good point there. So we could set up a very temporary steel refinery in here. That would definitely get us steam quickly if needed. There's no question. We already have a little bit of water and you're not entirely sure where that came from. But here we are. Also not entirely sure why it's so little. Why is it only like... Oh, it's the 10 kilograms that were still sitting right here. Or better to say, right here. It's those 10 kilograms. As soon as this pipe here was built, it dropped those 10 kilograms. That's what that is. That's another mystery salt, I suppose. Alright, perfect. It filled that last tile up there on the top. That's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and snippity-snap. Please, snippity-snappity. And bring it up to the top. Alright. So far, so good. I think this will be a game changer for us, and I think this will be great once this here is completed. But other than that, I think we can actually get started here and connect the power up and start transferring just a little bit of water in here. Again, we don't need a hell of a lot. It just needs to be enough to become steam and heat up all of those ladders right here. That's the main issue. I should probably remove them. That probably would be the easiest solution to the problem, but meh, you know. So I go sometimes, snip it off once again here, just for the time being, and then let's try again. Let's see how much water we got. And it seems like we are looking at about 120 kilograms, that's totally fine. And the only thing that we have to do is basically tell this one here to set this one here to above -5 degrees, which turns on the thermoaquatuner, and it will start creating some heat. And in the worst case scenario, again, we can still put in whatever we want. For example, our metal refinery. Okay, I think you can't cause the tooltip says water-based liquids. Does it? Does it actually say that? Fuel delivery control, auto input. Where does it say that? Overheating result, ripple generation, blah, blah, blah. It's not in here. I don't actually see it. Where does it say that? Liquid. Actually, it says here requirements. The liquid intake pipe must receive liquid from a liquid pipe system. It only says liquid, technically speaking. We might need to wait for Fauna Rhineland to come online. He's usually down for that kind of fun. But it looks like our water is already up to 52 degrees. That is most definitely not where it started. That's great. We're also heating up all those metal tiles right here. Got to keep that in mind. There's a lot of mass that we are trying to heat up here. But that is okay. We're just going to keep going. Geek Engale, the liquid tapidizer with a timer automation of 1 second. 1 second would also get you steam quickly. That is also a great idea. Another option that we have in our toolbox is, of course, our old liquid tepid as a trick to overheat it. I like it. That's a good one. That's a really good one, a geek. I doubt you can feed it nuclear waste. That would actually be hilarious. I mean, I would love to see someone test it with supercoolant or something just for memes. For memes. Yeah, why not? I doubt you can feed it liquid nuclear waste. We can always do that. Once this thing here is running, you guys know that I'm never opposed to having fun. Because there's absolutely nothing stopping us from chucking out a quick save file and then trying to see what happens if we feed it straight bloody nuclear waste and just for fun of it. I love it. I'm down. Let's make it happen, boys. But for right now, Steam. All right. Baha on Twitch says, will we discover Corium today? We might discover Corium today. Yes, at the end of the stream, or whenever we have it up and running at least. Not the end of the stream, but when we have it running, we can try that. Yes, we can do that. Hopefully I have enough time though. I'm a little bit short on time today, but we have only been here for an hour. I'm not that short on time. I have like 3 to 4 hours. That's where we are at. Still, plenty of time here to get this here going. Don't you worry. In theory, it could work with any liquids that vaporizes below 400 degrees. It does take the liquid and it checks it as liquid drop with the heat, so it might work if there's enough water in the chamber. Huh. Yeah, I guess we'll see. And look at that. We got our first steam in the house. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful indeed. That is, of course, not going to be a lot of mass here, but that's okay. For that case, we can just feed it a tiny little bit more water to give it a little bit more mass here and start it up nicely. Very good. Bring it on. Steaming some ladders. Yes, we are steaming up some ladders. Ladders over the side of liquid vent. That's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight, boys. That's the plan. Okay. What else do we have here? A little bit of water. Of course, it's sitting on the neutronium, so that's fine. Why are we making steam, by the way? The reactor can fill the chamber with steam very quickly, right? Yes, it can. I prefer to be on a more controlled level, where I just fill up the chamber first, and then in a very controlled manner start up the research reactor. It's just for safety reasons. We're gonna make Corium on my terms, not on the reactor's terms. Okay. Very good. We have more than enough water down here. We're gonna stop it once again. That may have even been too much water, potentially. Gotta be careful. Looks like we're down to 65 degrees again, but we still have a few more degrees to go with our polluted water here, so it should be fine. Okay, very good. Let's keep heating it. Let's keep steaming it. Our temperature gradient here needs to extend past these rungs of ladder up here to the top for our next thermal aqua tuner to keep the cycle going all the way to the top. Okay, very good. Let's start mine up by setting up a stable water input to the reactor and just doing that with a shut-off if the tank level drops below a certain value. That is absolutely a legitimate way to do. That is actually how most people do it, probably. I just like to showcase it this way. If you have watched streams before where I have built one, I think I've done it twice. Is that number 3 or is that number 2? I've always done it this way, and the reason is it is the safest possible way. Get everything up to temperature first, make sure everything works. So for newer players that may try this for the first time, this is, in my opinion, the safest possible way to do it. But 70 degrees, I may have put a little bit too much water in here. Let it running for a little bit too long here, potentially. That's a slight problem. But again, tepid acid tricks and whatnot are still up our sleeve. How are we looking here? Petroleum-wise, we are running a little bit lower now. I think... Yeah, plastic, we're down to 6.9. Wait, we're down to 6.9 tons. Oh, yeah, that's why. I was like, why are we down to 6.9 tons? That's right, because we have 10 tons up in space. Well, not in space yet, technically speaking. Why is nobody cleaning this? Oh, actually, it is clean. Perfect. Should be good. Yep, 15 visits remaining. There we go. Now we can, once again, send this thing here up to space. Just to right there. Let's go up here. And let's begin the launch sequence. Let's try to get Goof back in there. This time with plastic, please. Wait, why don't we have calories? You have plenty of calories. It just doesn't show it for some reason if no Doof is here. Interesting, I suppose. We got plenty of it, though. More than plenty. So let's send him up there, and let's go from there. I see overheat damage on something near Volcano. We have a little bit of petroleum down here for some reason. Wait, what? Oh! Whoopsie daisy. We never actually hooked these bad boys here up to the cooling loop. We kind of put it in there, but we never hooked them up. Yeah, of course, you're overheating now. Because it probably heated up a tiny little bit here. But that will fix the problem instantly, though. Whoops. Forgot about that. Details. That is correct. We put it in. Like, the plan was there. The plan was there. The idea was not bad, but the execution... Questionable. Yes. That is a problem. With the large power transformer right here. That is probably what happened, though. It's probably overheated the large power transformer. It took a little while. What are you connected to? Let me check real quick if my theory is right. Yep, sure enough. It turned off this pump here. When the pump turned off, a little bit of the petroleum spilled into the magma. Which created the sour gas. And this has also happened, this is also what happened last time. I just didn't realize it. It's literally this large power transformer right here that overheats. Oh my god. It turns off the pump and it kills the entire system. That is actually hilarious, if you ask me. The only problem is, up here, the sour gas is still going to be a problem, though. We will have to do this exercise here one more time. Now we fixed it, though. Now it will be the last time. God, that is actually hilarious. How did I not notice? The first time around. Amateur, I guess. That happens. Okay, let's deconstruct these two tiles right here. Open it back up. Dupes are gonna come, deconstruct it. Opens this here up. The sour gas will escape. The vacuum pump will pump it out. Then we can close it back off. We're gonna mop up our petroleum, put it back into the bottle drainer, and put it back into the loop. That's exactly how this is gonna go. Kinda like that. Sour gas is here. Yes, the temperature is extremely high, but the mass, the thermal mass, is extremely low. Gotta keep that in mind as well. Therefore, it doesn't really cause any issues, which is why I just open it up without any precautions. We don't need any. It doesn't do nothing at all. Well, on the bright side, though, I'm glad we found it. We found the problem and we fixed it for all. That should take care of it for the foreseeable future, at least. Come on, 92 degrees over here. We have a few more degrees left to go. I think we're gonna see steam again. Should be fine. Okay, let's pump it out. Let's mop it up. And then last but not least, up here, for hopefully the last time, the liquid bridge is gonna go right here, just like that. And that should do it. All right. Every time you think you have it, it's something else. Hey, look, more steam around the electricity, because that's a great idea. That's not how that works here. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, be aware of possible breaks of your infinite polluted water storage. Seems like Clydes have changed something and dripping water removes gas by a little. But PO2 can be regenerated in your case. Oh, wait, what? Are you talking about this type of infinite storage right here? You're saying that this type of infinite storage right here doesn't work anymore? Really? Except for polluted water because it off-gases itself. Seriously? Do I have another liquid storage anywhere? No, I don't. That's the only infinite liquid storage we have. I have to test that. That has to be tested. Hold on. Let's see. What can we pump into a storage for no particular reason at all? Where it literally doesn't matter. Where can we cobble something together? That is something that needs to be tested. Yeah, because if that is the case, that is massive. That is a massive change to the game. That's one of the core mechanics. Let's see here. That will do it. That'll be fine. And we're just going to utilize this pump right here and pump whatever the hell we have here, brine or whatever, in here and see if that is the case. We're just going to utilize the chlorine gas that's already here, and we will see if that changes over time. We're going to do that real quick, dirty. No questions asked. Just let's make it happen. Right here, right there, liquid vent, let's go. Ulti says, I don't think it works like that because I have an infinite petroleum storage and it hasn't broken for 1,000 cycles. Yeah, I don't think it works like that either because it never has in the past. But what Elmore says is apparently something may have changed in the recent past. We will find out. We will find out. That is a mystery that can be solved extremely quickly. Really, dupes. That's what we're doing. Really. Really. Alright. Apparently we're gonna put water in there. Okay, water it is. Why not? Might as well. Already have some water in there. Might as well keep it on water. And then we can just dump it back down here. It's not a big issue. Super, super simple. Super, super easy. Oops. Can't mess around with that, though. We have steam once again. Wonderful. Great. That's awesome. That is absolutely great. In fact, if you can get it a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher. Come on, ladders. Heat. Heat up ladders. Drastically. Let's make it happen. And let's get some steam around this thermal aqua tuner right here. Yeah, that would be great to see. Might as well test. Agreed. Agreed. Again, super simple, super fast. Doesn't cost us anything. It's not like it's going to cost us any game time or whatever else. All we have to do is lock this nonsense all across the board here. And before we do something stupid, dupes. Exactly. Those two first. All right. Lock it. Yeah, of course, that's what you're going to do. And of course, that's what you're going to do. Why am I even surprised at this point? Dimitri, why don't you? There we go. All right. Everything's locked. We have chlorine in here about, we will see once it's all the way full, how much we have. And we will see if it gets less over time. And we're just going to keep on pumping. That's what I would think. Up here, looks like we made it to the second thermal aqua tuner. That's beautiful. So let's set this also to -5 degrees. Which means our second cooling loop, our second thermal aqua tuner is now officially and legally up and running. Which is great. That heats our steam up here as well. Which allows us to go all the way up here to the top relatively quickly and heat up this area here as well. And then we're going to start up the research reactor. Very, very nice indeed. And down here, all right, this is the number. We're starting with it. Somebody remember it, because I can guarantee you that I will forget it. We are looking at exactly 4,503 grams. I repeat, 4,503 grams. And we will see if this stays the same or gets any less at any point in time. All right. Oh, steam turbine is on. Yes, steam turbine is on. Of course, the steam that is already at a nice high temperature gets superheated by the thermal aqua tuner. That makes sense. That's okay. Very nice. Ba on Twitch and Septimus on YouTube both wrote it in chat. We have a record. Actually, 2, technically. It's even better. 2 records are better than 1 record. That's awesome. Okay, Steam, how are we doing? Yes, up here, of course, up here on the top, it's going to be the worst. Because we have all of these backgrounds right here for Vesti, who is here, by the way, on Twitch, says Beer. Westy, yes, your pastel purple background right here is now costing us time. Because we have to heat all that bullshit. I mean, that's 800 kilograms of pop right here. So we need to make sure that we heat up all this stuff here first, and that's going to cost us a lot. And I mean a lot of thermal energy. But we're getting there. We're going to make it happen with our dual thermal aqua tuner setup, and the third one is going to start very, very soon. Do we have actually... what is it actually called? Is it called refined? No. No, it is it's enriched. That's the word I was looking for and thinking of. Enriched uranium. How much do we have of that stuff? Nothing. That's not a lot. Not a lot at all, actually. Let's find us some of that stuff. Right here, for example. We have a little bit of it sitting around. So why don't we just go ahead and do a couple of things here. As a matter of fact, we're going to have, not an airflow tile, just a tile that we're going to slap right here. Let's keep the betas in here. Bring this over. Let's bring us letters right here. Yep. And then last but not least, airflow tile and a pneumatic door right here. All right. Let's build this, and then let's make our way to the beta hive so we can also get the enriched uranium. Is the other aquarium tuner? Aqua tuner, you mean? Yes. On? Yes, 2 of them are on. The one on the bottom is on. This one is on. This one not yet. We can see the background right here still reads vacuum. If I turn it right on, if I turn it on right now, it will overheat. Can't do that. I mean, it's a screen door near a nuclear reactor. Why would it overheat? Wait, where's the screen door near a nuclear reactor? Oh. Oh. Whoopsie-daisy, an oversight on my end. Gotta fix that. Good catch. Did not even see it. Of course that's overheating. It's built out of freaking nickel. So yeah, let's build it out of iridium. And let's be done with it. Word says I want a job as an aquarium tuner. Bestie says good thing that it's worth it then. Yeah, I don't know about that. You can still see vacuum here in the background, even though it is basically dripping from here, but it still reads vacuum. Steam right here, but vacuum right there. We still need a few more seconds. We're getting there though. Why do pneumatic doors and bunker doors even have overheat temperatures? Good sir, your guess is as good as mine. As good as mine, if not better. So let's do that. And also, let's get that stuff out of here, dudes. I don't want to see it laying around here. Grab it, annihilate it. Don't care about it. Also, right here, our printing pod is ready once again. We have 500 kilograms worth of dirt with option 1. Also, let me start the poll. Can't forget about that. The poll has started. 60 seconds. Number 1 is dirt, 500 kilograms. Number 2 is Liam with rocketry operating and digging, is frostproof, has an iron gut, and is gastrophobic. Then we have a Ruby on option 3 with ranching, digging, and doctoring, is skilled in exosuit training, has an iron gut and allergies. And we have a Bert with building and operating, with mole hands, uncultured, and biohazardous. Options 1 through 4 left to right on the top, and the reject all button on the bottom. For voting, you need to type $vote, then space, and then the number 1 through 5 for the option you desire in chat within the next 20 seconds. Doesn't matter if you are on Twitch or on YouTube. And GC Fungus is here with a party of 34 on Twitch. Thank you, Fungus, for stopping by. We are testing out my new voting function that I just found on StreamerBot for the first time today. So that's what you're witnessing. And let's see what the bot comes up with option 1 is the winner, because we had a draw. All right. Yeah, guys, you were just 1 second too late. You just literally came in on the tail end of the vote. But next time around, you can give it another shot. $vote, and then the number for the option will make sure that your vote is counted on screen. And that's what we are going to do. But Fungus, again, thanks for joining. I hope you had a wonderful stream today. Okay, the heat is coming. Slowly but steadily. Yep, this thermal tuner here can now turn on. That is not correct. Above -5, that's what we want. There we go. Now we have it. Now this one here can run as well. And our research reactor is now basically ready for startup. Just need to get our hands on some wonderful, wonderful enriched uranium. I was just saying it, and sure enough, now we can. Now we can. Was very chaotic, managed to blow up a nuclear reactor at the end, going to have to reload that. I hope that is not a foreshadowing here. Uh-oh. That worries me slightly. Cause if fungus blows one up? Oh god. Oh god. We will see, we will see. Very shortly, as a matter of fact. We can see also that the water here is coming slowly but steadily. That's great to see. Now we can also start slowly but steadily to increase the gas pressure. So let's turn this here on. And let's add a little bit of extra fluid, a little bit of extra thermal mass here to our steam chamber in the form of water by just filling up this pipe right here. So we currently have like 1400 grams in it. And of course, when this water here comes around, we're going to have 10 kilograms per. So we have a net gain of about, what, 8 kilograms, 8.5 kilograms per second here. Very good. Let's increase this here to around 50 to 100 kilograms. That's what I'm looking for. And that's going to be good. Pro tip, make sure your water input pipe is not broken. I do have a safety bypass right here. I hope it doesn't break. I hope it doesn't break. I guess we will see how that goes over time. Okay, for right now, let's add a little bit of extra thermal mass in here. Okay, should be sufficient for right now. I'm just going to turn it off once again, just right here, doesn't matter. All right. Very good. Rest of the water leaves. Now let's generate a little bit more steam, a little bit more heat, and then let's start it up and see if it blows up in our face. Always a good chance. Vesti says, beer, we should be called BierTiers. BierTiers. That's funny. Why did we seize? Oh, we ran out of water. That's funny as hell, actually. That's the one thing that I didn't anticipate, I suppose. Dupes, can we change that by literally just digging through here? I wonder. Maybe. Why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Undalek is here. Demetrius is here. Very nice. And Katrina as well. Let's see if this here changes how the brine is sitting here, and if that gives our liquid, our filtered liquid pump here access to water again. If not, we have to relocate it. Just for testing purposes once again. And it looks like nope. We need to probably dig up a little bit more here. Let's see if we can make that happen. Nope. Gotta have to relocate it. Highly unfortunate, highly unfortunate. But what can you do? In the name of science, we're gonna do it. We're gonna see if it works or not. Make it happen, dupes. Build it, and then let's see. Fungus, I don't know if you're still here in chat, but maybe you have an answer to this question, because somebody in chat said that they changed something in a game, and on infinite storages right here, it will eventually remove the gas. So far, we haven't really seen that. We are still at 4,503 grams. But maybe that will change in the future. We will see. We'll pump more stuff into it, and we will see what happens. That's an easy check, so we will make it happen. Copy the settings over to this one here. And let's run it like there's no tomorrow. Pump it. Grab all the water in the world for all I care. And let's bring it into this infinite storage right here. All right, very good. How are we up here? Steam is a little bit on the low end. A little bit on the low end. I put too much water in it again. You know what? We still have steam, and I think it's a good moment to seize the opportunity here to connect it up like this. Cut this off like that. Chug River says, only if the gas is very small. Well, that has always been the case. Right? That has always been the case. Where if you had less than, let's say, 200 grams or 300 grams in there, that it would eventually just get deleted. That has always been there. As far as I am aware, at least. Okay. Putting some water in here, that's great. Now we just need the last ingredient. Also, we need to hook this here back up, by the way. There we go. The last ingredient is, of course, going to be our enriched uranium, and that we are going to feed in right here. Why didn't I hook up power to this? I could have sworn I did. Yes, I know this conductive wire right here looks a little bit disheveled, but it's okay. It's only the suits. It's fine. I am gonna just put it on here too. It's fine. I think it's totally okay. Yeah, most of the stuff here is never gonna run at the same time. Not too worried about it. We can always put one more large power transformer in and segregate it off a little bit better. But I think for the time being it's fine. And then right here we're gonna say enriched uranium, allow manual use. And let's make that a number 9 priority. You find the uranium and you put it in there. That is the plan. Did we grab some? Yes, we grabbed a lot actually. It's all here on the ground. Beautiful. Just gotta go in there, grab it, and put it straight into that bad boy right here to load it into our research reactor. In fact, the research reactor is already going a little bit here. It is waiting for more enriched uranium, of course. But that is fine. We just need the enriched uranium to come. There it comes. The auto sweeper is powered. That is correct. So it should load it. And we should hopefully see here very soon a drastic increase in temperature. Yeah, I see that this one here is overheating. That's because the mass is too small. The mass should increase here very shortly with the steam. That is because I put too much into the bottom. It's okay. That is thankfully a self-solving problem. With the help of our liquid nuclear waste right here. That will definitely heat up this water here in no time. We just need a couple more drops of that stuff to fall down. And that's going to be happening here in real time. Theo says, I learned my lesson with my infinite liquid storage filled with magma in the inverse asteroid. Well, that doesn't sound like fun. Building melted. Wait, what melted? Oh, the pastel purple? Because I built it out of shale. Oh my goodness. It did get a little bit hot in that area here for a second, didn't it? Yeah, we need more steam mass. We are only at 60 grams steam. We need the steam here. Yeah, there it goes. We need that steam to come up. So that is a problem that is not occurring anymore. That's too funny. The bestie says no. Yeah. No, that is genuinely funny. But the steam is coming with a vengeance, so that's good. That's great. That's how it should be. Yes. Lots more steam. And we're still filling up our tank right here with more water. Got to keep that in mind as well. So the mass is just increasing more and more and more, as that should be. We should also seeing the temperature to decrease up here on the top very soon. Yeah, 130. Our thermal aquatuna temperature should come down as the thermal mass increases. Very, very good. It's working. It's doing what it should. It's all perfectly fine, as a matter of fact. Okay. Down here on the bottom, all the water is gone. That's great. And thank you very much for the follow as well, Theo. Truly, truly appreciate that. Yep, well, the nuclear waste down here on the bottom is accumulating. We have our liquid pump right here, waiting for this hydro sensor here to turn on above 500 kilograms. That should be plenty of heat that we are introducing into this area here. Plenty, to say the least. Terminal mass. I meant thermal mass. Did I say terminal? It's not what I meant. What exactly is going on in here? Oh, there's water in there? Wait, what? How did that happen? Oh, our pump must have turned on for some random reason, just for a split second, I suppose. Let me double check my wiring here. That is built out of iron. That's built out of iron. That's built out of iridium. That's built out of iridium. And here in the back, these automation wires are also built out of iron. Okay, just want to make sure that that stuff here can't melt from the liquid nuclear waste. That would be a problem, but it isn't. It's all good. Let's open this here up. Just so we can grab the water out of here. Not entirely sure where that came from, though. How did water get in there? The pump must have turned on for some reason, for a split second. Or this is the problem. That could also be. Did I get steam in there, potentially? Where is the steam coming from? Why is it so hot here in the first place? Hold on a second. What is happening here? Oh, did we pump extremely hot water out here? That can't be. I don't understand what I'm seeing. Where is that heat coming from? You pumped hot water from the reactor? I must have, right? Because I don't see nuclear waste anywhere either. Not a drop. So we didn't pick that up. Crazy. Actually, that's crazy. Actually, our rat ball chambers here are overheating because of it. Do they have an overheat temperature? No, they don't. Actually did not know that. Rat ball chambers don't have an overheat temperature. That's lucky. That's lucky as hell. Okay, dupes. I still need you to get that stuff out of here, though. That still has to happen, somehow. We still have, up here on the top... Yeah, we have only steam in here now. That is a problem. I need to introduce a different gas in here, because we do need to have something up here. How am I going to do this? Don't I have something nearby? Yes, this here. This is what I have nearby. Yeah, why not? Let's build us a little doodad. Yeah, we need to stop the pump here. The pump should really never turn on, though. If the pressure is above 2,000 kilograms, I want to see that happen. So how about that? So yeah, let's see what that does. And if we can change that here. Okay, all this here is working okay. More and more heat is being generated. That should be okay. Let me actually do it differently here. I am going to cut this here off for the time being. I'm going to keep the mass inside the reactor the same. And I am going to increase the temperature first, just a little bit. And then go from there. All right. Popcorn, thank you very much for the follow. Truly, truly appreciate that as well. Of course. Okay, very good. This is coming along. We're just going to pump some of this carbon dioxide into this area right here. That's going to be totally fine. We just need to capture a little bit of carbon dioxide in this area right here. Any kind of gas before we can close the door. That should be okay then. Yep, liquid nuclear waste is also coming. Septimus says, okay, time for bed for 30 AM. That's okay. Can't you empty gas pipes with plumber and open gas canisters in there? It's the same result, yeah. Same result. There we go. Replacing the nonsense with carbon dioxide. Wouldn't you look at that? And that should already be sufficient for our needs right here. I just need to make sure that what we can do here is... So the problem is... yeah, what am I going to do here? Actually, I'm going to cut this here off, because it's actually still too early. What I want to do here is I want to wait until we have enough liquid nuclear waste until I can pump a little bit. I need to have liquid on this tile, because we do have an airflow tile down here, which we need, so it doesn't overpressure. But right at the moment, any carbon dioxide that I pump in here can still escape to space. Therefore, I can't trap it in there. Kind of forgot about that. So yeah, there's that. Gotta keep that in mind. Can't forget about it. So let's make that happen. For right at this moment, let's just keep increasing the temperature in our steam chamber right here for a little bit longer, especially up here on the top. We are still way too low at only 108 degrees. I would like to see the steam turbines here at least turn on a little bit. I want them to see running, then we can do the rest. Septimus, I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you sleep well. Okay, very good. Either way around, it will work in our favor. If it likes it or not, it will budge to our will. Reactor still going strong. We should be able to see, yep, a massive amount of radiation. And you can also see that is why this here is built the way it is. Because the radiation basically stops almost exactly where our steam turbines are. That's why I like this build here so much. Of course, on the top, it will go out, but who cares? That space. No dude should be there in the first place. And here, even on the ladder, I mean, they are relatively safe, no matter what they do. It's actually a pretty good system, with 11 working steam turbines. Almost unlimited power is almost here. In the meantime, let's unlock some more blueprints and see what we got. What do we have? A mush stripe, the kind of green that makes one feel slightly nauseated. In decent quality. That's awesome. I don't think we had that one. How is Goof doing? Oh, Goof, I never took off your suit. I'm so sorry, brother. That's unfortunate. How's everything else going, though? Food-wise, you have 154,000 kilocalories. Oxygen-wise, you're doing just fine. Plastic-wise, you still have 9 tons left, and you have created us how many? Orbital. How many databanks, I mean? 109. Alrighty. Good. Why not? Why not? Might as well take off the suit now, I guess. It's better than nothing. Guess it makes your life a little bit easier, because you don't have to breathe in between. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing. Just gotta check on him eventually, because, yeah, I have a tendency of forgetting the dupe in the shit rocket in space. Been there, done that. Died a horrible death. Okay. More. We need more liquid waste. We are up to 475 kilograms. I think nuclear waste is 800 kilograms per tile. Is that a correct statement? I can't remember. I think it is, but don't quote me on it. I think it's 800 kgs. But yeah. Alright, so far so good. A little bit more heat. And we are golden. There's just such a heat sink up here. All this drywall up here. Shouldn't I only be able to use the ladder in the lead suit? Not this one. This one here, so right here are the lead suits. And right here they go with the lead suit into the steam chamber. But outside of the steam chamber, no, we don't have no suits. They're not necessary. It's not that bad. Unless a dupe literally would stand like right here. It's fine. You're on the ladder, 300 rads. They just have to go past here. It's alright. 170 degrees down here on the bottom, 200 degrees all the way on the bottom. That's very good to see. Just need more heat. I did not anticipate this drywall here to suck up that much heat. Holy cow. Did not anticipate that at all. Actually. Not planning to use the rat to make radiated plants, William. We can do with it whatever we want in the future. Just for rat at this moment, we're just using it for rat bolts. But again, we can do with it whatever we want. Saturated says, hey, Bier, do you normally start new playthroughs with all the DLCs, or do you pick and choose? I want to start a new playthrough, but I'm not really interested in the robotic pack. Do you normally start a playthrough with all the DLCs? Like this one right here doesn't have Bionic. Like you guys, chat, you guys voted on it when we started this playthrough. If we want to go with or without Bionic, and the overwhelming majority was without Bionic, so that's what we did. This here is no Bionics. And I still believe that was a good idea. Because I'm not a big fan of Bionics myself. And by now we have 10,000 kilograms of water per tile in here. Per tile, mind you. So a total of 20,000 kilograms, more than that, in an area where we should only hold 10x. And we are still at exactly 4,503 grams. So yeah, I think this myth here is busted. I feel like I'm at the Mythbusters now. Now that I said that. The myth is busted. I'm pretty sure if you have 4.503 kilograms worth of chlorine gas in your infinite storage, it is still fine, as it has always been in the past. But still, that was not a waste of time. That was a good test. Every once in a while, you have to make sure the stuff is still working the way that you expect it to work. And yes, I'm going to hook this here back up so we can transfer a tiny little bit more water up into the top area. I'm also going to just deconstruct this here across the board. Don't need it anymore. So why leave it? Let's reclaim our resources. And it should be okay. Almar says, sorry for misinfo. I will try better next time. That is totally fine, Almar. In every way, shape, or form imaginable. Again, could have been correct. And it's definitely good to test something like that. Instead of either just not using it because you think it's wrong, or running into the problem later. There we go. Our water is back. Made a little round tour. That is okay. That we can deal with. Also, this one here can go as well. All right. Bestie says, yeah, the drywall is a great thermal mass to ensure the stable heat output. It's pretty neat, huh? Yeah, pretty sure I don't necessarily need that, though, for a reactor build. Kinda doesn't need stable heat because the stable heat is generated by the reactor per definition. If you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, this pipe here is going to stay here because if I let a dupe in here, even with a lead suit, Probably not too happy at 8,500 rads. 8,900. Oh god. 1,100. Oh yeah, we're not gonna look at that. Oh, yep, you're not gonna look at that. Okay. Looks like this here is now working the way it should. So the way it's supposed to work is this here. We should have, in a perfect world, all of these here running. We should have 10 kilograms of water coming from the top down, keeping the mass inside of the steam chamber the same at all times. And this water right here should just rotate in all of eternity just to see, or better to say, make sure if it ever goes wrong, that we have a backup solution. Alright, this is looking great. Let's let it run like that for a second and let me go grab a Coke from the fridge real quick. Be back in 1 minute. With fresh Coke, feeling much better. All right, very good. Oh no, he's gonna flood the Red Bull storage again. I hope not. How much do we have? 698. That's still way below that we can turn our hydro sensor here on. You can see the liquid pump, the way that it is set up here, because we are so restricted by the freaking neutronium. If this one tile of neutronium wouldn't be here, this would be a non-issue. But unfortunately, we have it. And I didn't consider it at the time to build it just one longer. So yeah. Yeah, the hydro sensor right here is one tile up. This liquid pump thinks it's not in fluid, and the reason for it is quite obvious. Because it's not. It's in fact not. But it will be able to grab it from the bottom and from these two tiles right here. Kind of like this one right here. It does the exact same thing. It's the exact same logic. And it works the exact same way. Okay, we have 10 kilograms of petroleum over here. That's great. That is as that should be. Nothing to complain here. Just gonna deconstruct this pipe here once again. Come on. Somebody get rid of it for me, please. Really quickly. So we can close this here back up. Turn it back on properly. And not have a problem with it ever again. Hopefully, from this point forward, now that our power supply problem has been fixed. What happened to your life-making decision game, Alters? I'm still on it. Still gonna play it again. Actual matter of fact, the new voting system that we have just implemented here for Oxygen Not Included will also be heavily utilized for games like that, where decisions matter. So this here is basically the test run for that idea. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. That's gonna be good. Alright, let's reintroduce that little bit of petroleum right here. As it should be. And now it's once again running the way it's supposed to. Very good. Last but not least, of course, we will need to build these two tiles right here. And the dupes are most definitely not going to use that. Wait, what? What was that? Oh. Is it the end of your shift literally right now? You made it all the way to right here. Von Rhineland is here. Roy says, for you made it. That's nice. How many of your clones did you eat? Except I think the Alters has Twitch integration. I actually don't know what kind of integration it has. But even if it has Twitch integration, it doesn't help me much since I'm streaming on multi-platform. So yeah, still need to find a different solution if I want to treat both of the people. Doesn't matter if it's Twitch people or YouTube people, the same. And that would be the general idea. Alright, very good. We currently have only 14 kilograms of steam in here, though. That's not a hell of a lot, not gonna lie. Could be a little bit more. Could be a little bit more. Should be a little bit more. Let me be more precise about this. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here? I could. Temporarily. Yeah, it's temporarily. Ask a dupe. Why is it all wolframite? What is going on with our liquid vents right here? I mean, dead nuts. Why is everything wolframite? Iron ore will do just fine. Put it onto this pipe right here. I know that's our backup pipe, but just for a tiny little bit, and we're gonna keep a very, very close eye on this here, so nothing happens. Nothing bad happens. But yeah, for right now, let's introduce more water. That's what we need. Let's introduce more steam. That should be good. We're also refilling our reservoir because we have put quite a lot of water from our reservoir into here. And now we're putting it right here. Worst case scenario, it's not going to flash directly on the insulated tile, but it's going to drop down. And it will flash latest on the metal tiles. Very, very good indeed. That's why we have metal tiles across the board here. So we don't have problems with heat transfer from our liquid nuclear waste. So it's not concentrated in just this area, but it's spread all the way across here. That's the idea. And it seems to work pretty well so far. Music Kitty is here as well. Says howdy, howdy Music Kitty. And thank you for joining today. How are you doing? Okay. Meteor blaster, liquid reservoirs, everything's fine. Everything's good. I guess why not? Why not start another poll? Because we do have the Forgotten Printing Pod. Remember guys, it's not exclamation point or anything like that. It is a $, a vote, space, number. Let me put that in here. Let me get started, and then we will read. Option number 1 is Camille. With cooking, decorating, and researching is a quick learner, as Frostproof has an iron gut and has critter version. Option number 2, oh my goodness, Draco eggs, 3 Draco eggs. That is absolutely amazing. That is option 2. Travaldo is option 3 with suit wearing, farming, and researching. Increase decor and cannot do digging errands. And then we have Hassan, who is an early bird, Frostproof, and a mouse breezer with a farming plus 12. So once again, those are our options available right here. Slap it into chat, $, vote, and then the number is what gets you your vote on screen. And this time, even I will vote myself. Let's see, because I would really like to have some Dracos. All right, my vote was counted. My vote was the 4th vote for option number 2. You have 5 seconds remaining, guys. Slap it in chat. Make sure your vote gets counted. And we have option 2, of course. I knew you guys would. And we got our Draco eggs. Very good. Of course, it'll probably take you guys a little time to get used to that, but that's how it works. And I think it works relatively well once you get used to having to use how it works. Trump, the vote is rigged. The vote is probably rigged, actually. All right. Very good. Very, very good. I really like that voting function. I'm really glad that that I could figure out how to do that yesterday. And by the way, massive, massive shout out to Killjoy. Our own Killjoy helped me out drastically in figuring out exactly how it works and how we can utilize it in the game. So yeah, that is certainly something that I appreciate, that he took time yesterday for like an hour and a half or so to figure that out with me. Yeah, our liquid nuclear waste here is rising. Still could be a little bit higher. Our hydrosensor still doesn't see it. We can see it's a little bit messy right here. It still has a little bit of steam there. That steam needs to be pushed out upwards. So we got to make that happen, but that's okay. Liquid vent, we're going to rip it back out by now. And let's see how much water we are working with here. That should be okay. I'll be able to close the door. We will be able to close the door once the hydrosensor sees something. Once I can turn this here manually on and I can put a tiny little bit of liquid in, then we can close the door. That's basically, no, that's not just basically, that's exactly what I'm waiting for. In fact. Okay. So far, so good. And then we can also watch how it increases right here with the radiation and how many rads we're getting. So right at the moment, we're collecting, what, 9 rads per cycle? And that is just the background radiation from space that we get in here. That's it. All right, now we have the hydrosensor right here. And now with the hydrosensor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do several things. Point A, we need to introduce some gas, which once again is going to be our fancy carbon dioxide right here. And then I'm going to lock the door while the carbon dioxide is still being introduced. Some dupe, please do it now, preferably, as quickly as possible, so we can get a few hundred grams of carbon dioxide into here. 130 grams is okay. It would be nice to be a little bit higher, but it should be fine. We're going to have Not only one, but even two of them. Okay, and now, last but not least, all we have to do is say this here. And start pumping a little bit of this stuff right here. And now we can set it to the real value of like above 200 kilograms. It's fine. We only need this much for right this moment. And from now on, we can leave it automated as it should be. This here can be cut off here in a second. So in the F7 overlay, cut it. There we go. Now we have a fluid in here. Now we can vent the rest of the stuff out into space. It doesn't matter anymore. We don't need anything down here. Only in here is where we need the carbon dioxide in this one tile. And it looks like we will end up with about 470 grams. That should be more than sufficient for what we are doing right here. Okay, let's rip this here out. So I'm not worried about it later. Or I'm confused about it, better to say, what exactly I did this here for. Alright, very good. We are at 23 kilograms worth of steam in here. It's still low. It's still low. I mean, the reality is it's still freaking low. We still want more thermal mass in here. Does it matter, though? I'm trying to think for myself. Does it matter if I put more steam in here? Does it help me or not in any way, shape, or form? I don't know. I guess eventually. Won't temp shift plate help? With what? I mean, the temperature, well, it's not the same, but it's almost the same. 200 degrees on the bottom, all the way up here, it's 160. So there's a 40-degree difference across 30 tiles. Thermal storage? I'm not really worried about thermal storage either. Because we are just generating more and more and more heat. Basically, indefinitely. More stable with more mass, that is the one benefit. Yeah, it is definitely more stable. I guess we are going to add a little bit more. Just for the fun of it, why not? It can't hurt anything. Better too much than not enough. What I would argue here. And it looks like one or two more ejections from our research reactor, and we should crack the 200 kilogram mark here. With the 200 kilogram mark, we should be able to pump our first automated liquid nuclear waste up here into our infinite storage. And we will see how much it takes for this here to increase. Currently, we only have 116 kilograms in here, yep, and it's still 9 red balls per cycle. Hasn't really changed yet. So yeah, let's see how that goes. The more, the merrier. That's of course how that's gonna go. We just need to create more and more of that stuff. Alright, very good. Can't really complain about that. What else do we have left on this map? Oh, how are we doing in space, by the way? How are we doing in space? How are you doing, Goof? Still plenty of calories. Plenty of it has rotten, though, that's for sure. Yeah, plenty of it has rotten, I know that. But yeah, 74,000 kilocalories still left over. You are up to, once again, 215 databanks. You still have uses on your bathroom left 4 visits, so we can leave you up here for at least 4 more cycles. It's all good. Perfect. That's what we are after. Just try to get as many databanks as possible. Okay. Okay. Steam over here. I mean, the liquid vent has been built once again, so that's great. The water is coming. That's all it is. That's all there is to it. We just got to bring it in here. Just got to make it happen. And just got to see what happens once we do it. What's going on with this one right here? Oh, that's because the water is right here. Okay, so we just literally by introducing the water right here, instead of right here and dripping it straight onto the metal tiles, we have cooled down the steam so much that this one steam turbine here actually doesn't turn on. That's funny. That is funny. You added a vent on the line that feed the reactor with water. I added a vent on the line that is the emergency feed. So the main feed for the reactor is coming from the steam turbines. So the steam turbines suck it out of the room, create water, or condensate it into water, and then feed it into the research reactor. That is the general idea. And only if this system here should break, if we have a power outage, let's say, for some reason, I break something badly, and our steam turbines here don't work anymore, for who knows the hell what reason that may be, and the water output drops. At that point, this line right here would feed the water for the research reactor to stop it from exploding. So yeah, I basically just killed the backup. That's what I did. Okay. More nuclear waste is moving. Love to see that, love to see that. TU says, good idea. Awesome, thank you. Always good to have a redundancy built in. But you never know. Never know. Alright, look at this here. Collecting radpoles, 33 per cycle. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? We are up to exactly 470.5 grams of carbon dioxide. Exactly as expected. Gotta love to see that. And of course, our radiation here is increasing. We can read it, 345 rads per cycle. And up here on the top, our background is only 125. So we added effectively 200 rads already, and more right now. We can actually see it rising in real time. We added a few more drops in there. Beautiful. Beautiful. When Ryan says I'm out early, this time my ISP would have a better ping by sending the data with USB sticks via USPS. That's funny, von Rhineland. Unfortunate, but funny. Really sorry to hear that, though. Sending the data with USB sticks with you by USPS. That's great. Yeah. Okay, we are pumping a little bit more water out, apparently. This cooling loop here is not going to work long term anymore. That is also a given. So let's fix it. Let's fix it now. So it won't be an issue in the future. How about that? Right here. And probably something like this here. Should get the job done. Alright, dupes. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, indeed. Okay, so we can create a little bit more steel and other metals that we need, because right at the moment it just wouldn't work. There's not enough water or any other coolant left as of this moment, so we gotta make sure that we fix that before I just mindlessly turn it back on and forget about it and cause a massive disaster. Most definitely something that I'm known to do, so yeah, there's that. Do we have a boatload of the stuck dupes right here? Yes, we do, don't we? Why don't we do this? Because this is built out of shale, that's why we don't do this. What do we have laying around here? Any kind of other stone type of material that you have access to here, dupes, that's not abyssalite. You gotta have something here, right? Igneous. How about igneous? Why not? Igneous rock. Here and here. That should do it. And this comes all the way down. Alright, dupes, do it. One of you, build me those ladders, please. Thank you. There we go. Rescue the stuck dupes, get them out of there, and let's go. Alrighty. Steam mass, 32 kilograms. We still need a hell of a lot more than that. Hydro sensor is at 200. It's green, but it doesn't see anything. Yeah, it's just... Liquid nuclear waste behaves very strangely because it has a very low viscosity. Very odd behavior. There. Very, very odd behavior indeed. But we're working now with 44 radpoles per cycle. And now, hopefully, we will get these here filled up relatively quickly. And Bier grabs 5 dupes at once. That's right. Something is going to flood soon. What's going to flood soon? Oh god, I'm scared about flooding. What are we flooding? Please don't flood anything. I'm way too young to flood anything. Please don't do it. Okay, dupes, get her done, get her done. And then right here, we still have this filtered liquid pump right here. You know what, I'm gonna leave it just for a moment. It's fine, who cares? It's okay. All I'm gonna do is this, and all I'm gonna do is this. Oh my goodness, almost didn't want to do that. There we go, that's more like it. Then I'm gonna do that. That should be fine. That will empty everything out, and I'm just going to tell the dudes to start using it and to make us, I don't know, one singular iron to steel. Why not? Just so we can get started here. And have this stuff here rotating around the way it's supposed to, the moment it can. Bosses, it won't be too bad, don't worry. Oh god. I'm even more worried. What's gonna flood? What have I missed? What am I not seeing? Okay, there we go. Wonderful. As it should be. Now we can reclaim that material right here. And by now, the water level has dropped far enough that we can also get rid of this filtered liquid pump right here, so we might as well do so. And by the way, we are still running this one singular metal refinery on polluted water. In case you're wondering, we're still running polluted water. We're ice cold here. Like, no shits were given. Alright, what we're also going to do in the meantime is we're going to dig up this area right here. Just because we can. Steam is up to 44 kilograms. That's going to make it better. Up here on the top, we're at 30. And down here on the bottom, we're also at 64. Very good. I really don't see a reason why this here should be a problem. Everything is fine. Everything's good. Down here, we are at 65 kilograms. I think, once again, it's time to rip out that liquid vent right here. Once again, start up our lube as it should be. And at that point, it should be fine, I believe. I think we have enough in here. For the time being. Should be good. Okay. And then last but not least, of course, we can also do this here. And this here, as well as this here. Don't need it anymore, so we might as well get rid of it. Got plenty of water on the top right now for us. Remember, you removed all the meltables from the auto dispenser in that area too. Oh yeah, that's right. I did do that. Good call. Very good call. Very good call indeed. I'm just going to rip out the piping all the way to here. If we still need a pipe that comes down here for some reason, I'm going to leave the rest in. But for right at this moment, that'll do it. What is this pipe? Right here, by the way. Kinda don't remember what I built that for. No idea, as a matter of fact. Couldn't tell you at all. Not gonna lie. Complete brain fart here. But that's fine. We're just gonna make sure it's accessible, and we're gonna keep on digging. How about that? We're getting more rat bolts in. That's great, though. And then on the top right here, we also need to think about what we are actually going to do with those rat bolts. I mean, research, of course, that would be one thing, right, that we can think about. But yeah. Right, what is happening right here, right now? Stop that. Oh, it's still researching projectiles. That's right. I want to do rat bolt propulsion, but why is it second? Oh, it can't do it because it needs that. I'm an idiot. That's why. Yeah. All we can do is literally this here. That's the one thing we can do, plus these four on the bottom. But yeah, well, might as well grab us diamond press right here. Why not? Might as well. Let's leave a pipe in case I need. Forget why that is there. Classic. Yep, been there many times, but yeah. Usually, at least. In a majority of times. Let me put it that way. A majority of times I remember what my pipes are for. At least if I leave them that intentionally and I say it out loud. We're suffocating? Why are you suffocating? How are you suffocating? Please don't suffocate. Let's just start with that. No, you can't reach that. That was stupid. Oh, that was even dumber. Okay, to solve the problem, you can dig through it. Raymond, you need to dig yourself out. I can't help you. I don't think Raymond is going to dig himself out. I think he is going to die a horrible death here. That is a problem. Why you hate him? Why do I hate him? I don't know. But is there a faster option? Huh. What do I have laying around here? Nothing that can... I have some? Nope. Abyssalite. 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 I have nothing here with which you can build a ladder. That's actually insane. That is actually insane that I have nothing here. So the only option for him is literally to dig out. There. That is your only way, unfortunately, because I didn't pay attention for a second there. But you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, are you? I mean, with a lot of extreme luck. No, no, no. That's so unfortunate. Emergency pole. I don't think that a pole would have been faster than digging through here. Unfortunately. Alright, rest in peace. That's dupe number 4 in 551 cycles that have died. That is unfortunate. Tychos. You could dig up 2 tiles. Would I have made it through here faster? Maybe. That could have been faster, maybe. Restart? We're not restarting. Dupes are resources. The death of a dupe is nowhere near important enough to warrant any kind of... I didn't even see the vote. Who the hell did that? Was that... Let him die out of the words. I didn't even see that one. That's funny. But yeah, no. Dupes. Dupes are a resource. Always keep that in mind. If you play Oxygen not included, dupes are a resource. Speaking of resources, how are you doing, Goof? 295 databanks. Very nice. You have 1 visit remaining in your bathroom. You know what? I think you had done enough. Oh, that's now a worn pursuit, really? But he... Wait, what? How did it wear out by laying there? I mean, not that it matters, but still, though. That's interesting. Don't think I've ever seen that happening. Either way, you're going back down on the ground, sir. You're fine. You're okay. Leave the plastic. Remove everything else. Should be okay. Alright. He didn't die. He was repurposed to become the core. If on Rhineland is 100% correct. That is exactly it. Repurposed to become the core. Indeed. Let's check out another blueprint while we're here. I play Deathless. If a dupe dies, I have to restart. Oof. But why? Dupes are resources. That's not it. We have a bristly green planter box. The interior is lined with tiny barbs. In common quality. I'm pretty sure that's a new one. Pretty sure that's a new one. William says, I have a small suggestion. Not sure if it works. If we set up the water output drop on different locations, will it help carry the hot steam upward? All we would basically have to do is to move it all the way over to at least here. Because it would basically fall down instantly without going first on the insulated tile, immediately evaporate and immediately become steam and go up. So that would work, William, yeah. John Cunningham says, I've always called it the Dupe Darwin Awards. Couldn't agree more. Van Dan says, dupes are resources, gives me a mild flashback to my worst workplaces. Well, thankfully, in general at least, I only treat dupes this way and not my employees, so... Usually my employees are pretty happy, generally, with how I treat them. At least I like to believe that. But I do see your point. Also, more nonsense that's right here. Let's get rid of it. No point in having all this here. Let's make it nice. I thought Bier was an engineer, not HR. Yeah. Well, technically, currently, I'm engineering manager. So, yes, the engineers work for me. I find the unlocking of cosmetics for Bier very ironic. It's basically a list of items we never see again. That is very true. That is a fact of life. It is a list of items that we will never see again. Especially a planter box. I mean, when have you ever seen me build a planter box, Vesty? I mean, that is a very, very rare occasion. Okay, down here on the bottom. Is this here ever turning back on? I'm wondering. No, it doesn't look like it. I'm pretty sure that our energy consumption is now 100% covered by steam turbines, either over here on the right or over here on the left, or both combined. I'm pretty sure that is where we are at right now. Of course, this thing here has shut down completely. The water's running at a nice negative 6 degrees Celsius. That's beautiful. So is our liquid pump. It's just waiting for this thing here to go out of dormancy in 19.8 cycles. Speaking of dormancy, how much do you have left? 25.3. We still have to build another infinite storage down here eventually, don't we? Or a piping system, one or the other. I just don't know which one I want to do. Do I really want to have a pipe all the way that comes all the way from down here up here? I mean, I suppose we could, but why? I mean, we would need one way or another, because even if I build an infinite storage right here to utilize it, we have to have it up here. So there has to be, then, at the end of the day, there will have to be a pipe that goes all the way up, if we like it or not. And as a matter of fact, we can even make it our life here relatively easy, I believe. Yep. Okay, let's make it happen. Why not? Why freaking not? So let's do this. And let's do that. That'll be fine. Obviously not reachable yet. Now it is. That should be okay. And now, let's bring this pipe all the way down here. And what we are going to do is we are once again utilizing... Now that we have unlimited power, might as well utilize some power here. We are all the way down here. Just something like right here, maybe. Yeah, why not? We're going to filter out what we have. Let me do it like this here. We're going to bring this up here and into there, this up here and into there, and then we're going to snip this off like this. And bring it up right here. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could build it much higher, though. I don't have to build that much stuff. I should just build it right beneath that gas pump. Yeah, that's better. It just saves us a lot of building. A lot of resources saved. Yeah, let's make that happen. Why not? Why not? Might as well. Just really quickly. With a gas filter down here on the bottom. Everything else is going to stay exactly the same, though. Right here. Right here. And right here. And then let's do this and let's do that. And let's hook this here up. Perfect. As that should be. And last but not least. What is on this power wire? 3,400 watts? Wait, how are we getting to 3,400 watts? Okay, we have a skill scrubber on here. That's 500 watts by itself. What else do we have on this wire? All of these here. Well, that's another grand. Oh, these here and this one. Holy cow, everything's on this. How did we survive with this wire here for that long? That's actually insane. I was not aware that all of that is on one wire. Holy cow. That's crazy shit. Build another industrial brick next to it, but the thing is that we don't need one. It's completely pointless. Thomas is here. Thomas is Servus, Thomas. How's it going today? Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. You know it. Yeah. And I think what I'm gonna do here is... Yeah. The pipe. The pipe. It's gonna connect right onto there. That's fine. The only problem with that is, as a matter of fact, that this pipe here... Do I just not care? I guess I just don't care about the temperature here. Because I didn't build those pipes here as insulated. Insulated pipe all the way? Yeah, insulated pipe all the way. I agree. That is actually not correct here at all. Why didn't I insulate this pipe? I'm just blowing a boatload of heat into the atmosphere for no particular reason. That makes zero sense at all. Yeah, that's not it. So yeah, let's add a little bit on here. Igneous rock is thankfully something we have, thanks to our volcano tamer. So I'm not worried about it. And yes, let's insulate these pipes here as well. All the way to right there, at the bare minimum. Alright, that should do it. You just have to rebuild everything. That will take a minute, but it should be okay. How are we looking up here? Rappels, are we coming along? 92. So this here is basically just accumulating over time. More and more and more. Eventually. I don't know, is there a limit to how much rappels it can collect? Is there a limit to how much radioactivity there can be? I actually don't know if there is or not. It will just accumulate for an extremely long time. Let me put it that way. Liquid nuclear waste. Still at a nice 213 degrees Celsius. Still introducing nice amounts of heat. And we still have a decent amount of steam going through here, actually. Up here on the top, you're still only at 160 degrees, which is crazy, but we'll get there. Brandon says, I'll see you in Vaudland. I'm currently babysitting 6 adorable Doberman puppies. Oh, that does sound adorable, actually. That's awesome. No limit from my experiences, William? Yeah. Wait, what is those 2 dots out in the darkness to the right? Visible on the map. Wait, what? 2 dots out in the darkness visible? In some cases, you can see some things of other maps. I don't know what you are referring to. I don't see anything out in the darkness to the right of the visible map. I don't see nothing. I don't know what you mean. Sorry. 6 balls of chaos, I can imagine. I can't imagine. Puppies are always fun. Okay, research reactor is still going. Everything's good. Our battery module, not battery module, our rocket is back on the ground. I mean, our research here is getting done. The pressure, diamond press here. Just a tiny little bit left. That's okay. What we are going to do is I'm going to click on this one right here, though. Not this one, sorry. Which one is it? This one, Repel Propulsion. That's the one I want. First projectiles, done Repel Propulsion. We're going to get these 2. So we can eventually get to cryofuel. This one here already got the databanks, and this one here already also got 30 of them. We don't want to waste any more. All right. You need an animal table in your Discord? What do you mean an animal table? It might be gone, or you might have to zoom further in. That's about as far as it gets. No, I don't know. I don't know. It might have been a glitch. Need an animal tab in your Discord. I do have an animal tab in my Discord. Hold on a second. Where is it? Pets. Right here. We do have a tab in the water cooler for pets. So if you want to post cute pets, go for it. Got that one covered. I'm always happy to look at cute pets. Always. LOL, uploading chaos balls. There we come. Chaos balls incoming. Okay, how's our piping coming in F7? Very good. Very good. A little bit of salt water. The sand here is a little bit sketchy. I'm not going to lie that is going to hold that, but what can you do, I suppose? I guess what we could do is we could put, just for safety's sake, put 2 more airflow tiles right here. So we don't spill all of that down here. That would be catastrophic. Trying to avoid that at all cost. But other than that, this is fine. We just need a gas bridge. That is going to live right there. Gas bridge right here. Everything else stays the same. Same here. Everything else stays the same. And this one right here, we are going to set up a 4 hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas. That's the name of the game. Damage overheating? Wait, what's overheating? What is actually overheating? Not the insulated pipe. Is it the liquid reservoir itself? Wait, what am I watching? Oh, it is the liquid reservoir itself. Why is it so hot? Wait, what? Why is this one so hot? I'm a little bit confused right now. Why is out of all of these here, they all have the same contents and everything else, why is this one here so bloody hot? Is it literally a lack of gases, maybe? Let me see. If I kill you, will you die? Let some more gas accumulate right here. Let's see if the temperature goes down. But other than that, yeah, still need all of this piping here, dupes. All of this here still has to be rebuilt. All of this here still has to be done. That's a lot of stuff, dupes, that you need to do. Yeah, what's that nuclear waste right here? How did it get here, though? And is that what's hot? I don't understand. Really don't. Really don't. Nothing is running. Nothing here should generate any kind of heat. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. But I guess we'll see. Someone dropped something hot onto it. I don't know how somebody would have nuclear waste in their hand that is too hot. But either way. In here, temperature's still okay. Steam turbine's still running. Research reactor still running. Rappel still coming. I think the next thing that we can at least attempt to work on is another rocket ship, or at least another platform. But the question is, where are we going to build it? And for that, we first need to figure out how can we collect all those rat bolts right here. So let's see. If I do something like this here. If I do this one right here, it will go here. Just trying to figure this one here out real quick. Right here. This one right here would be right there. So they don't actually meet. That's unfortunate. Let's rip out some ladders so I can build some stuff here. Okay, let's get rid of them. Once we have them, we can plop in some repelled reflectors, and then we will concentrate their prowess here onto a single point, and we will need some kind of timer in there as well. That's going to need to happen. Without a timer, that's just going to unload full force, and that's of course not a good idea, at least not in my opinion. But yeah, dupes may be busy with building a bunch of piping down here. Also, that is just how it goes sometimes. Gotta do what you gotta do, dupes. I think I will increase this here just slightly. So we will actually get some dupes down here and building with a little bit more vengeance. That would be nice to see. So we can get this here done and have it up and running. Okay, this here is good. If I now build one here and one right there, I just need to put them in so I can visualize that in my head. I have right here my rat bolt, and I shoot my rat bolt from here to there. I shoot my rat bolt from here to there. So right here I have a rat bolt in each one of those tiles. It's unfortunately not going to be helpful. How can I do it easiest? I mean, easiest would be to just shoot them all into one direction. Are you going to build tubes? Yeah, we will also build tubes. I'm just trying to think for a second how I can do this easiest. The easiest possible way would be to just accumulate them all to one side and then shoot them into one direction. I'm wondering if there's a different way to make that happen. I don't think so. Not with the way that they are spaced. Like, they would have to be spaced apart one further for that to happen. An uneven number. And that is unfortunately just not what we're looking at here. So, let's cancel these builds right here, and let's do it differently. But I can't do that either. Or my return loop will not work. So let's do it this way. Yes, right here. We're gonna build one right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, and right there. And then the question is, are we gonna go left and right? For that, we're gonna build us a rocket platform. And the rocket platform, we're gonna build us also relatively high. Probably something like this here should probably get the job done. Why not? We can build some insulated tiles underneath it, just for some insulation of the insulated liquid pipe right here, and just the space beneath it. But now we need to then, once this here is done, that's the first thing we need, we need to go ahead and put in the engine so we know where to aim for. And we will probably... Yeah, how are we going to do this, though? I need to make sure that dupes cannot get hurt. Yeah. Staggered in height, all will be pointing up and right. All will be pointing up and right. I don't know what you mean. You mean diagonal? All these here come up, over, up, and over. The problem is that dupes can walk through this area right here. That is something that we need to change or restrict in some way. Should be able to converge them on one reflector below the rocket. Yep, that's what we're doing here. Just replace the small rocket? I could also just replace the small rocket. That is actually a good call here. Should we keep it? Ah, you know what. Eventually I will replace it with something. What happened to this insulated tile right here? Don't know that either. But yeah, let's leave it like this here for the time being. Because even with the small rocket, I still have the same problem. It doesn't change. I still need to find a way to safely shoot those rat bolts here without a dupe being in any kind of harm's way. Kind of like we do it down here on the bottom with this build right here. Like, it is basically impossible for a dupe to get hurt. The only way for a dupe to get hurt is if a dupe would stand literally right here. And there's no reason for a dupe to ever stand there. A dupe cannot walk along here or nothing. So theoretically speaking, it shouldn't happen. We need to do the same thing here. That's the plan. But in the meantime, Forgotten Printing Pod, what do we have? Let's start another vote. Don't forget, it is $vote. And then what we need. Okay, we have a Camille, interested in rocketry and building, is starry-eyed, has an iron gut, and is an interior decorator, but also a plant murderer. Almost forgot the plant murderer. We have an Aber Arkhorn. We have currently 0. We can get us one of them. We have a Ruby with rocketry +9, starry-eyed, iron gut, and also a plant murderer. My goodness, lots of plant murderers today. And we have a Dawdle Egg. We have 3. We can get 1. Those are our 4 options on the top, plus the reject all button on the bottom. So option 1 is Camille, option 2 is the Aber Acorn, option 3 is Ruby, and option 4 is the Dawdle Egg. Those are the options on the table. Slap it in chat. Once again, $vote, space, and the number is your way to get your vote into the race. 15 seconds are remaining as of right now. Okay. Let's see. 2 seconds, 1 second, and the winner is option number 2, the Aber Acorn. And Andrew19987 just followed on Twitch. Thank you for that. Follower number 670 for you, Andrew. Once again, I appreciate it. And we are, of course, going to go with your guys' decision of the Aber Acorn. It is now ours, if they like it or not. Very, very good indeed. Also, while the red bolts are not yet flying completely crazy, in the same mentality that the dupes don't have a reason to ever walk into here, that is the same thing that we are trying to accomplish here as well. Just gotta get rid of all the stuff that's laying here, so a dupe never ever has a reason to go there. Okay, very good. Oh, now all of a sudden he's interested in not harming dupes. You know, every rule has an exception. Okay, where's the steam coming from? Seriously, where is the steam coming from? Where is randomly steam coming from? Randomly just some water in here or what? Just some generated heat randomly? Very odd. Either way around, we don't care. We're gonna grab our granite and what else is laying around here, and we're gonna get the hell out before the rat bolts here become overwhelming. We're already at 145 per cycle, so we are basically already shooting 3 rat bolts per cycle into our rat bolt chamber as of now. Should have kept the CO2 to keep the steam at bay. I didn't know there was steam to be kept at bay, to be quite honest. I wasn't aware that that is a thing, so yeah. If I would have known that, we could have talked about it, but here we are. Here we are. Also, before it gets too long, let's get this stuff out of here. As I do see now that the temperature is increasing in here. And we should get to a temperature of roughly what this liquid nuclear waste is here. So we should be able, or we should see roughly about 215 or so degrees Celsius of our steam temperature here eventually. That it would be at least what I am anticipating on seeing. Okay, dupes. A little bit more work has to be done here, don't you think? Why don't we make that happen real quick, will we? Yeah, we still need in research, of course. Our Red Bull propulsion, we're working on it now. Applied sciences research here is going to be our bottleneck. That is okay, though. On the right side, we already got the projectiles in. That's fine. Red Bull propulsion is going to be coming here soon, and then we can work with it. If only we could store nuclear waste in an infinite storage in the real world, right? Been saying that for years. Okay, so far so good. Everything is chugging along the way it should. A few more farm tiles right here that still haven't gotten the memo about the temperature that it's supposed to reach, but it does keep our fluxes alive. We're up to 41 tons. Yeah, 41 tons in wood. Very, very good. Down here on the bottom, our copper volcano is dormant. Yep, this one here is self-sustaining. That's why it shows no power. Because, again, yeah, it's self-sustaining. Why are the dupes still not building here? What is the deal? Wait a second. What are you all doing? Where are you running around? Seriously, what are you doing down here? Oh, you're grabbing igneous rock all the way down here from the bottom to carry it then up here and put it into the gas pipe. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, man. I guess I can help you guys a little bit if literally that is your closest igneous rock by just digging up this little bit of igneous rock right here, I suppose. Maybe that helps. Makes your life a little bit easier, potentially. If we do it now. So you don't have to run all the way to the bottom of the base and actually put that pipe in here in a reasonable amount of time. There we go. Barris is here. Digs at least one tile up. A little bit more igneous right here. Look at that. That's perfect. I'm just going to tell the dupes to dig 4 wide all the way to right here. Because why not? 2 ladders. That should be enough igneous to finish this pipe right here. Just from eyeballing it. Should be good. You should probably somehow restrict access to the bullet hell area repo storage. Yeah, we should probably come up with something like that. Agreed. But for right now, I want them to access it and get all the nonsense out. Kind of like that. There we go. All the nonsense is gone. And it looks like the steam is now down here for some reason. I don't know why we have steam. Still don't know what happened, but that's fine. At least up here we have now a vacuum. As long as it stays a vacuum, that's cool. Okay. Alright. Looking good. Looking good. Just need, like I said, a few more insulated gas pipes right here. A little bit of digging right there to get us some precious igneous a little bit closer to the building location. And that should make us a little bit more efficient as well. Which is always good, of course. Dig over here a little bit extra as well. A little bit more igneous. And let's see if that helps. Okay, so far so good. As soon as that's built, theoretically, this here is already set up to be on. Yes, this here is already set up to be on. It's just not set up to have power. That we can change relatively easily as well. So let's just make sure that power is not the problem here. Let's put that in. And once it's in, should be good. Temperature-wise, still slowly but steadily climbing. 183. That area is going to be the next best crossover of video games. Oxygen not included means Cuphead. I don't know about that. If no dupes die, how is the colony going to make mush bars? Exactly my point. Thanks, Vesty. Been saying that the entire time. We need some kind of nourishment, right? Speaking of nourishment, we kind of like the blueprints and nourishment for you guys. Let's open it up. What do we have? Ooh, what the hell are you? Some aquarists posit that Pacus are the original creators of the game, now known as Tag. The Chase. A ice block in decent quality. Since I literally don't know if I've ever built a ice block even once. I don't think we will ever see that again, Bestie. Exactly, what will we never see again? Exactly. Exactly. I don't think that we will. That is something we definitely will never see again. Okay, all good. Steam turbines here are also up to almost maximum capacity. Very nice. Very good. Enriched uranium, 1500 kilograms. Are the bees still doing anything in here? Do they still have access to any kind of uranium? Like, are you still building? Are you still creating? You are still creating. That's nice to see. And the 1400 kilograms are the 1400 down there. What do we already have up here? I just need to see if I need to get more. There's another 1000 kilograms right here. And in here we have another 91 kilograms plus whatever is on the line. That should last us for a decent amount of time. Ice block to entertain the flocks we don't have. We do have a flocks. Right here. We do have floxes. Yep, that is one thing we can claim. We do have floxes. With our metal spike right here that is desperately trying to keep the pineapple bushes cool enough to keep them fed. Word says, yeah, I'm pretty sure you built ice blocks in some of your earlier videos for spot cooling before temp shift plates became the style. Maybe. It has been so long ago. My god, when were temp shift plates introduced? That was so long ago, dude. I don't remember that. Maybe. It could well be. It might well be. 14 cycles here and 19 cycles there. Yeah, in 19 cycles we are going to build this pipe. That should be doable. I have a good feeling about that. Just more igneous. Looks like I was dead wrong with how much igneous builds like that actually requires. Nowhere near that we were able to finish it with what we have available right here. So let's do this here. And let's take this here out. Actually, we can't just go straight 4. Yeah, why not? Let's do straight 4. More igneous. Let's get it in there. Let's make it happen. So the dude stop complaining and stop running around across the entire freaking map randomly. So yeah, that should be good. Okay. Igneous is coming. And dupes hopefully don't have to walk once again as far anymore. This one here we can rip out, by the way, just as much as this entire pipe right here. It can go as well. No more need or use for it. As a matter of fact, that's actually slightly incorrect. We still have a use for it. We still have a use for it. I'm wrong. Just not up here. Just not up here. We will need it, of course, for our space rocket eventually. But for right now, we don't need it in this location, so let's rip it out. We have seen everything that we can see with that. This is coming along great as well. Yeah, that's gonna be the next step. Literally, in the research, we need to get our red propulsion here up and going. That needs to happen really badly. The earlier the better, preferably. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to look into the interior and see if we still have food in here. Looks like we put some food back in here. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think we're gonna go straight back out into space right here. Polluted dirt. How many visits are remaining? 3 visits? That's not a lot of visits. Let's clean this sucker right here real quick. Once it's clean, we're gonna send Goof up one more time to grab us more data banks. Because I guess we're once again down to 0. Yeah. And we don't even have enough for the Rapid propulsion. So let's send him back up. Whereas I think temp shift plates were in the game. I just don't think people were using ice temp shift plates for that. Or at least I hadn't thought of this. Could also be. It's really hard to say. I mean, how long have I been playing Oxygen not included for, what, 5 years now? Or even longer than that? I don't know. When was it released? Okay, the last few pieces here are coming along. And then one more thing that I'm going to do is also this hydrogen that we have out here. We're also going to pump that out as well, by the way. I'm just going to grab us a filter gas pump for that real quick. And I'm just going to plop it literally right here. Rip this nonsense here out so the pump has some space to work. We're also going to put that in here. And I'm then going to say only hydrogen is going to get pumped by this pump. Just so that this atmosphere out here is also hydrogen free. Yes, and just think of all the objects you never built. There are a lot of buildings in this game that I just don't utilize because I just don't see a reason. That is a fact. That is something that I cannot deny. There's a lot of buildings. Like, I mean, how many times has anyone in here seen me use a thermal regulator? Once, maybe? It doesn't happen a lot. Ore scrubber? Don't think I've ever built that. I mean, why would you? Trying to, kill churns on raw ore. Couldn't care less about churns on raw ore. It's the least of my worries in 99% of all cases. It looks like we're a little bit low on oxygen, so let's turn this here on. Somebody can grab this one bottle right here, plop it in here. That's 900 kilograms that we're just going to pump straight into our atmosuits, and that should be fine. Or we're going to take these 200 kilograms first. That's also okay. Either way, we need more of it, and we have it. Just got to utilize it. Okay. Case in point, ribbon cable? Agreed. Thermal regulator useful for deep fridge, just make easier to make one early on. That is a very good point, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just don't use it. And there is also no real reason for it. Yeah. Okay. What else? Yeah, we have to wait for this rebel propulsion right here. That has to happen, if we like it or not. Which means the outhouse here has to be cleaned. So how do we clean it? Why is it says it's still not been cleaned? Still only one visit remaining. That's not good. Somebody please come by and make this here happen properly. That would be great. Anyone at all. That's the one piece that we need to send him to space once again for an extended period of time. Of course. Okay, this here is running once again. These here are being cooled. Did I make that same mistake somewhere else, I wonder? Yeah, look at this here. We have a smart battery up here that I also haven't cooled. I thought we did the same thing somewhere else. I just remembered. Yeah, look at that. Let's cool down that smart battery here as well. Anywhere else? Where I forgot to hook that up for later. No, good. Only those two. Well, fine. You ever going to melt a rocket wall? I don't know, maybe. I know it is suggested every time I build a rocket. Maybe that is something that we can do on this map. Why not? Not today, I can guarantee you that, but in general. But yeah, we need it, we need it, we need it. Somebody, please. How is it so hard? Equitime. Kionis, make it happen. Both of y'all. Not the disinfection. No one cares about the disinfection. Kionis, do it. There is Kionis. I'd like to see you play a no infinite storage run. Couldn't you just store less? Or create ways of dumping in space or something? Of course. There's plenty of ways. I mean, infinite storages are not a necessity in any way, shape, or form. They're not necessary to play the game. But yeah. That is something that literally a bunch of people want to see. It doesn't really change a lot. Okay, is this here decent now? No, it's not. Why? Brandon says, nope. Whoever suggested that, that's a hard pass. I would agree with that. I love infinite storages. Everybody knows it, that I love them. It just makes your life so much easier. Okay, the gas pump right here has now pumped out the hydrogen gas, as it should, and this one here needs to be set up to be hydrogen. So it can do the same thing. Yay. I also didn't think this through. This filter gas pump should have been here. Yay. That's unfortunate. Yay. Let's rebuild it. Yay. There you go. Now it will actually catch all the hydrogen. Because where's the hydrogen gonna go? Well, quite obviously all the way to the top. Surprise, surprise. Who could have seen that coming? So yeah, let's put it up there. Then we can rip this one out. It's not a hurry or anything. It still has plenty to do before that happens. But for right now, hydrogen just comes and it just gets segregated or separated, whatever you want to call it, right here out. Over here to the left. Comes all the way through here. All the way through there. And here is the splitting point where it decides to go either straight into our power brick or into our infinite storage. William says, what did I miss? Not a hell of a lot, not a hell of a lot. Just trying to accommodate this hydrogen gas here properly. Infinite storage helps with frames. Infinite storage does also help with frames. That is very true. That is a fact of life. Does help drastically, in fact, with frames as well. Because the calculation, it's mainly the temperature calculations that are killing your FPS. Because it constantly has to calculate the interaction of temperatures between one tile with another. Well, if you have something like this here, where there are only 2 tiles with the same fluid in it, there is not a hell of a lot that needs to be calculated. Only the interaction with the liquid nuclear waste and the manual airlocks, as well as with the gas that's up here. That's the only thing that needs to be calculated. That's it. Instead of having to do the same thing in a bazillion tiles. Okay. Is this here good now or not? Or what are we doing? Yeah, Goliath. Really? You sucker. How about we're going to change that right away, and we're going to say change the destination to here, and then we're going to say begin the launch sequence. Why not? Let's go. I think I just want you challenged or forced to do things in a different way, like how the start of the ice planetoid felt. Yeah, I did like that. I agree with that, Vesty. I like challenges, like the beginning of the ice planetoid. That was nice. Like the extremely cold one. That was a really, really nice challenge, actually. Okay. And he should be up in space, and this time I will not forget to take off his suit. Yup. Plastic goes in, and we are once again in the process of making more and more detonates. Isn't that nice? Still have 387 kilograms of oxide in here as well. 13 kilograms of oxygen, plenty for him to hang out. But yeah, Vesti, I don't think that removing infinite storages really is going to be a challenge. It's not a challenge per se at all, as a matter of fact. It's just a slightly different way of playing, but it's not challenging per se to remove infinite storages. So I would look at it personally. That's also why I recommend the production mods, since that would mean figuring new stuff out. Oh yeah, that's right, the production mods. I still need to look into those. Completely forgot that you suggested those. That would be interesting because it changes the game. But it does that. It changes the game basically completely. How do you plan to remove the CO2 in the shit rocket? Not at all. Not at all. It's just sitting down here on the bottom. As long as it is still fine and it's only down here on the bottom, it's okay. The shit rocket is a very, very limited time device. Just for the lack of better words, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not meant to be around and used forever. It's only meant to be used for a short amount of time. And after that, it doesn't matter anymore. So we're just gonna rip it out and annihilate it. You could always watch Radamant's Oxygen Not Included runs if you want to see no infinite storage runs. Yes, that is an option. I'm sure there's more than enough streamers and YouTubers and who knows the hell what else out there that hate storage as much as I love them. So, that is very true. But I mean, that's not the point here. It's more about challenges that he's asking for. And yeah, I just don't think it would be much of a challenge, to be quite honest, to just not have infinite storages. It doesn't make your life easier, necessarily. It just speeds it up, right? Need more missiles. Are we low? We are low. Are we not making any more? We're not making any more. That is something else that I was thinking of, by the way. And that is something that we're gonna do right now. Hell yeah. I was just thinking of that. Actually, I was wanting to do that last stream. In the beginning of the last stream, I was thinking about it. And then I forgot about it. So let's fix it. What I want to do is, I want to make sure that our meteor blasters here never ever run out of blast shots. So what we're going to do is, we're going to make blast shots, and we are going to put them into some rails. Conveyor rails, to be precise. Made out of iron ore, that's fine. And we can't just bring them straight in here. You see this right here? That's very nice. That is how these things here work. So, let's see if we can make that happen. These here are just in a straight line. That's easy. Don't want to get these here molten down, so let's bring them through here maybe. And see if that works. Bring them through here, and bring them through there. So, that should work. How do you... Yeah. But what is worth saying? This first oxygen not included run got me hooked on the game, but I have not liked any of the subsequent ones. Well, that's unfortunate. I feel like he plays oxygen not included out of obligation. It doesn't seem to enjoy the game. Yeah, that's never a good thing. I mean, I don't know him. Like, I literally don't. I don't even know the username, so don't ask me about my opinion about whoever the hell that is. But if that is actually the case, now there are definitely people out there that just stream a game because they have to stream it and they don't actually enjoy it. It's like they don't get viewers with other games. Like myself, I don't get viewers with other games. But I enjoy this game, so it's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Okay, loop-de-loop. I'm gonna put a loop-de-loop in. That's gonna be simple. And then just from right here somewhere, something that can be reached by the auto sweeper. For example, right here, we could put us a tile. And then on top of the tile, we can put us in shipping, the conveyor loader. And then the conveyor loader is going to be hooked up to power. Let's see. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? We already have the big power wire right here. Let's utilize it. Why not? Why freaking not? And then last but not least, we just need to bring this out here. And somehow up to the top without going through all these minefields of freaking neutronium right here. And then all the way up here. Last but not least, we will need a conveyor bridge. Not a conveyor shut off, a conveyor bridge, I said. And we're just gonna put the bridge right here. Just like this. And I believe we will need, for good measure, one more. And I'm just gonna put that one right here. Just gotta say, you're going to rotate this way around. We have to somehow give it a direction. And that should be like that. Alright, let's try this out. Let's hook it up. And let's see if it works or not. Also the conveyor bridge. Down here on the bottom. So basically what we are doing is, we are just filling up this loop right here. This loop here will rotate forever. Once one is full, it will just keep on going. That's the general plan. We will see if that works out or not. We're also gonna put blast shots in here, of course. And we're gonna make blast shots in here. And we're just gonna start out with, yeah, 50 out of copper, that's fine. And then another 50 out of iron, that's also fine. Alright, let's do it. Let's make that happen. Petroleum is here. And then the auto sweeper should pick up the result, put it into the conveyor loader, and bring it up as soon as it's built, of course. Oh wow, the loop-de-loop. Why didn't I think of that? Wider tile? You're right, wider tile. Sorry, brain fart, T.O. I don't need a tile, it's a conveyor loader. The conveyor loader doesn't give a shit, does it? I forgot that it's a conveyor loader. Good catch. Temperature all the way on the top here, now up to 200 degrees. All the way on the bottom, now up to 160. Oh yeah, that's right, because of all the water that we are dropping down here. That is a good amount of water that's coming here. Of course, we got to keep that in mind as well. But we are steam at about 41 kilograms right here, smack dab in the middle. That's perfect. Not a hell of a lot to complain about this at all, if you ask me. Also, rat bolts, 227 per cycle. That's awesome. We soon have a 250. With the 250, we get 5 rat bolts that shoot across here every time. And that is set to 50. I could set that to much higher, of course. I'm not going to do that, though. Doesn't make a difference. It's fine. We're just going to let this here get filled up slowly but steadily. Yeah. How is this here going? Looks like, yep, all of the hydrogen is gone, or at least a large majority of it. I'm just going to leave the pump here for a little while. Why not? Eventually, it should be able to grab most, if not all of that hydrogen in here. Might as well. And then we're going to rip it out. Very, very good indeed. Okay. How are we doing in space? Autosave. We have 50 databanks. That's great. Let's take a quick look into research. How many do we actually need? So we need another 9 for our repo propulsion. Then we need another 400 for cryofuel. Oh my goodness. Another 250. So we need already, alone for these two here, 650. 650 databanks. If we want to have a monument, that makes another... that brings us up to 800, I mean. Sorry, 900. Plus all the rest right here, 1,000, 1,250. Roughly 1,250 altogether is what we need. Good grief. Did you research the console to make databanks on the ground? No, because that console doesn't exist. It's part of the Bionic, or does it? I don't think it does. I'm pretty certain, let me check. I'm pretty certain it's part of the Bionic DLC, and therefore it doesn't exist. Let's see here. Trailblazer module, mission control station. No. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope. Nope, it's not here. That is in Bionics only, so yeah, we don't have it. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure of it, but I thought so. Betsy says, I like the way Bier figures out solutions to problems, which is why I'm recommending challenges. Of course, others are also playing the game, but I need that engineering brain. Biertier brain. Again, I'm down for challenges. Like what I want to do, what I definitely want to do is I want to play this map right here, like the brain fart prehistoric DLC. Sorry, but the lab map where the meteor. What does it do? 10 cycles? Is it 10 cycles? It comes down after 10 cycles on a lab map, I believe. Yeah, that's the map I really want to play. That sounds like a hell of a lot of fun to me. So that is definitely on the agenda as well in the future. But for right now, we're going to see how far we get with this here. Come on, dudes, keep building this here. I know we need more engineers, but that's fine. Last shots are being created. Last shots are being put into the conveyor loader by our auto sweeper. All that is great. What did we put in here? Nickel? Yeah, we're not going to build it out of nickel, guys. We're going to build it out of iron. So I'm just going to fill this one here up with iron instead. That makes it a hell of a lot better because our auto sweeper can just put it into the blast shot maker and call it a day. That's better. Alright. Guess I'm going to give it a higher priority. Maybe that will get our engineers to do some work here. That would be great. That would be great. To get to actually witness our engineers to do some work. Alright. The data miner, by the way, the more you cool down the data miner, the more efficient it is at producing databanks. I run mine around -300 Fahrenheit. I know I have actually never built a data miner. Never had to. Because we only played like the Bionics twice and we never made it that far. But I've read that. I've heard that. You need to keep it, the cooler the better. So that is certainly something that would come into play. Once we are also aiming for cryofuel propulsion. That would be a great way to keep that thing nice and cool. Alright, looks like the number 9 priority has made at least a little dent into it. That's good. That's always good to see. And it looks like the first blast shots are moving, at least up here to the bridge. And that's when it will stop, of course, as well. Alright, looking really, really good here. No complaints at all. Also, I'm an idiot. Something that I completely forgot that I meant to do. a long time ago. I mean, now we have only 8 cycles left. Damn it. I wanted to hook this here up, and I wanted to hook this here up. Just in an attempt to get more of this stuff here out. It's also not hooked up here. There we go. Get it out. Our auto sweeper right here can grab us this nonsense right here, give it to the conveyor loader, and just get it out. Get it out. As long as this volcano here is dormant, that is the perfect time for those kind of shenanigans. Of course, our auto sweeper here is overheating. I'm aware. I'm aware. That is okay, though. It will be another little while until it reaches 575 degrees. And hopefully we have made a little bit of a dent into all of this stuff here by then. That would be great to see. Kevin says, I'm all for the evening. Catch you all on the VOD. Have a good stream. Thank you very much for that, Kevin. Truly appreciate you joining today. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And you're not going to miss that much, because I also have a deadline set for myself here as well. But okay. I really want to see the conveyor rail loop-de-loop. There we go. What else is lacking? Oh, over here still a little bit. But at least the blast shots should be moving onto the rail, and they should be coming off to the right here, if it works the way that I want it to, and it sure as hell does. That's great. Obviously, the lag that you're seeing right now is every time a dupe over here builds a conveyor rail, that's that little bit of a lag that you see. The same happens, by the way, also with liquid pipes, and also with all kinds of gas pipes. Alright, the blast shots are coming, and you can see it filled up the first one. And then everything that it can take just moves on to the next one. And we're just going to play this game until all of eternity. Feed it in there until it's full. Once it's full, move on to the next one. And that's how we're gonna do this. Super simple, super straightforward. The danger that our meteor blasters here are running out of blast shots anytime soon has been greatly diminished, to say the least. Especially since we are getting 100 times 5 blast shots come out in 5 units per production. Yeah, process, I suppose. So, we basically get 500 blast shots. We can blast a lot of meteors with those 500. Should be just fine. 7.7 cycles left. And down here on the bottom, we are at 13.1. That's good. My rail is not reachable to build. My rail is not reachable to build. You're correct. Of course, because I put my insulated tiles right above here. That's unfortunate. Now my rail is reachable to build. That should do it. That should fix it, hopefully. For the time being. Once the dupes build it, they can build those last few. And the loop-de-loop should be working. Vesty says roughly 500 meteors. What did you say? Yeah, that is roughly the neighborhood that we are probably in. Yes, Vesty. There we go. Very, very good indeed. Let's gotta fill them up once. Once they're full. Loop-de-loop time. Alright. One more. Really? This one here needs a lot. How many can one of them actually hold? I don't even know that. Looks like 1, 2, 3 times 5. Oh, sorry. 3 times 10 is 30 total. Not 3 times 5. 30 total is what one of them can hold. Okay, yeah. We got plenty. Got plenty. Alright. Very good. Temperature-wise, we're still just below the 200-degree mark, as it should be. I mean, that works just perfectly fine. In basically every regard. Alright, here, yep. Is this done? Yes, that is officially done. I think so, yeah. All of this. And all of this can now be ripped out. We don't need it anymore. Let's reclaim the resources, might as well. And make sure it's out of our way. Very, very nice indeed. How are we doing in space? How many have we made? 108. Very good. How much food? 220,000. Very good. Why is your gas pump not pumping the chlorine? Because I told it not to. That's the simple answer. My gas pump is a filtered gas pump. Do I have one somewhere? No. Where's my filtered gas pump? Right here. It's a mod called Smart Pumps. I can basically build it and I can set it up to whatever I want it to be. I must have built one somewhere, right? Right here. Filtered liquid pump. It's basically the same thing, just as a liquid pump and not a gas pump. It's a pump where I can set up what I want it to pump. For example, water. In this particular case right here. I can come in here and can say water. And that's what it is. So you basically cheated. Yes, I basically cheated. That's correct. Because, yes, of course, I could put on another gas filter, or I can put on another mechanical filter. Which I feel like I have proven time and time again that I know how both of those things work. So I decided I'm just going to make my life easier and get me a pump that has the bloody filter built in. Much, much faster, much, much more efficient. Exactly as it should be. Okay. That is not it. Oh. I think I need another conveyor bridge, potentially. Just literally on the bottom right here. Yeah, I think so, honestly. Let's try that. Let's try that. William says LOL. Yep. Okay. Build it. Someone, anyone, please, for the love of God, make it happen. I want to see the loop-de-loop. Okay, 20 kilograms in here. Vesti's asking, gonna play Oxygen Not Included away team? I would love to. I will. I mean, I will definitely. Not just that, I would love to. I will definitely when it comes out. I just wish I knew when it came out. Do we have a release date yet? Has anybody heard? Because I haven't heard a damn thing about that game since it was announced. Since it was announced, I haven't heard nothing. Anyone. Build me this conveyor bridge here, please. Victor Milan. No release date yet, says Elfie. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But yeah, definitely going to play that. There's no question. I mean, looks great, obviously. Alright, here comes my bridge. Is that going to fix it? Please tell me it's going to fix it. Yes, it's going to fix it. Thank God. The loop-de-loop is actually loop-de-looping. Very good. Did not hear about that game, says William. It's the next game coming out here by Clay. So yeah. It's a Oxygen Not Included type of game. It's different. It's basically a spin-off if you want. Okay, we're looking great. Let's unlock another set of blueprints here. Why not? Let's see what we have in store for us today. And, of course, underdog chimp socks, breathable socks that do nothing whatsoever to eliminate foot odor in common quality. Yeah. That is not very fancy. We also have a forgotten printing pod ready, so let's try our voting system one more time right here. And let's see what you guys want. We have option number 1. 400 kilograms worth of copper. We currently have 37.8 tons. Option number 2 is a Lyra, researching +8. Skilled in mechatronics engineering. That's a tier 3 skill. Caregiver, increased medicine. Is spelling impaired and a plant murderer. Option number 3 is Herald, researching traits. Interior decorator and nyctophobic. And then last but not least, we have option number 4, Liam, with rocketry, skilled in mechatronics, German assistant, and building impaired. 4 options on the top, plus a reject all button on the bottom. As always, put it into chat, but this time use the vote function, $vote, and then the number to let me know what we should do here. Here, I'll decorate everything. Where it says more of a Starbound Terraria type game with some Noita qualities, I think, with Oxygen Not Included setting and protagonist. That could be something like that, yeah. Great job, engineers. You voted for option 1. Option 1 it is. Where's my printing pod? Of course. Yeah, that's the copper. Let's grab it. So what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about this kind of like on-screen voting in chat across platforms? Well, what are your thoughts on that? You like that? You think it's annoying? What do you feel about the timer? Do you think 1 minute, 60 seconds is enough, or would you like to have a little bit extra time due to the stream delay? Like, I can adjust that. However, I'm gonna love it for altars, 100% Vesti. That is also the plan. For altars, it will also be utilized. But as always, if you guys have any constructive criticism on what we can do better, make your viewing experience and your interactive experience better with the stream, feel free to let me know. If it's technically doable, then I'm more than happy to look into it. Purchase immediately another poll. What did he have here? I like it. I think it's annoying for option 1 and option 2. I think you could decorate better. I want trim overlays. Yeah. So this is actually hard-coded in HTML. I don't know how much I can do with that, but I can try. I can try. But yeah, doc number 27 says need more time. Nier says streaming from bathtub already was proposed. Yeah, we tried that before. It didn't work out too well. I don't know. All the viewers were saying my boobies were too small. So I just stopped and went back to oxygen not included. Here we are. Okay, apparently you guys like it. Well, that's good. That's good. And again, we can fine-tune it, even live. I can change things like duration. Live right now, I could do so if I would choose to do so. But yeah, looking really good right now. Why not open up another blueprint real quick? Because we still have 3 left, and eventually I want to catch back up to how it's supposed to be. 60 seconds is definitely too short. Well, why don't we try something else? Because you're right, I do see votes come in after we actually, after the 60 seconds are over. So why don't we change it over? Should I double it? Should I make it 90 or should I make it 120? What are you guys feeling? Misty says code in HTML is like oil and water. You need an emulsifier for that sentence to work. Okay, alright. You do have a point there. You do have a good point there. Doc number 27 says 120. I guess. You know what? You know what? Let's see. I'm just going to create a poll on that. Why not? Let's say 60, 90, 120, and why not 150? Just for the fun of it. It's marked up in HTML. Yup, you're right. All right, let's try that. Here is a poll. That poll is currently 120 seconds long, so 2 minutes. Option 1 is 60 seconds, option 2 is 90 seconds, option 3 is 120 seconds, and option 3 is 150 seconds. Vote now. Within the next 2 minutes. How about that? I mean, why not vote on voting? Might as well. Might as well. Vote on voting. Okay. We literally want so many people want 150 seconds? 2.5 minutes? 2.5 minutes? That seems a little bit long on my end, but whatever you guys feel like. I'm gonna vote myself as well. I'm gonna vote for 120. I think 2 minutes is sufficient. So, vote for option 3 for me. More votes are coming in. That's great. Throw your votes in. Every vote counts. We still have 45 seconds to go. Six votes currently for 120 seconds. Yeah, just seeing 120 seconds live right now. I believe that 120 seconds is a good option. Even 90 may be decent enough. Because 90 would be over right now, basically. By the way, what are we voting for? How many seconds the polls are going to be? Sorry, Vladimir. We are voting for how many seconds the polls are going to be in the future. Was AFK? No worries. You're totally fine. But it looks like 120 is going to win the vote. And that's what we're going to leave it for right now. Mind the lag, I agree. Can't change my vote? Nope. Vote changing is not implemented as of right now. Either. But you cannot vote twice or anything like that. You can only vote once. And that vote will be retained for that vote cycle. Can't change it as of right now. We are voting for the right to vote. That's right, Tio. That's right. We're voting if there's early voting, if you can send in your vote by mail. That's what we're voting on right now. All right, how's our repo generator doing? Okay, we are up to 300 red balls, so that's 6 red balls per cycle that we are getting out of this bad boy. Very nice. Space. That's basically the bottleneck that we're waiting for right here. It looks like the carbon dioxide is taking over a little bit in here. That's okay. Thomas says, Vom Hüdeln kommen Schigi China, Pisa mir Schotner. A little more time is great. Yep, a little more time is great. Indeed, Thomas. I agree. That's funny. Okay. We should rerun this poll next stream. Yeah, we can rerun that poll next stream. 184. We're gonna leave him up here just a tiny little bit longer. Just a tiny little bit longer. But yeah, other than that, I think our research reactor here is running as it should. And there are really no problems with it. It's running extremely stable. It's really nice to see, actually, how stable it actually runs. The steam temperature is right around 200 kilograms, so yeah. We won with 120, I'm okay with that. Try another vote, I want to look at the inspector while it's on. I'd rather not, I'd rather not. We're speaking with our mother tongue now? Well, every once in a while a sentence, we can throw that in there. Oh, I think the chute is looping. Yeah, we have some loop-de-loop actions going on here with a feeder pipe into it. That's perfect. Look at that. That's exactly what that should look like. It's definitely loop-de-looping. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Mother tongue. Well, Thomas is from Bavaria, like myself. Stays full that way? Yes, once it's full, it will stay full that way. Every time an empty tile comes by, it will be automatically filled. I did my best to translate it and Bia got the hint. Yes, I got you, Thomas. I got you. I got you. Okay. Not a blueprint. We got 2 more. Gotta get through that today. Because next time around, I would like to start fresh. That's for sure. So let's see what else we have here. A sunny retro flower pot, a funky yellow flower pot for plants on the move. In common quality, we already had that one probably 8 times over. So, okay. Tia says, I think we should vote if we need to re-vote next stream for how long the vote should be. Oh, God. That is absolutely hilarious. Okay, apparently there is such a thing as too much voting. Bestie says I would vote for that. You guys are killing me. You guys are just outright killing me. How many more do we have left? Only 3 here? Maybe we need to make some more, huh? As a matter of fact, I think we do. Let's make another 50. Let's make here another 50 too. Out of iron. Thank you. Wait, what? The one got a copper, we're gonna annihilate. Yeah, only iron. So our auto sweeper here can take good care of it. And that should be okay. Alright. That should fill up our loop. quite nicely, quite drastically. European bureaucracy strikes again. The Europeans are very good with bureaucracy. Let me tell you out of experience. Yep, that is one thing that we are incredibly good at. Wait, what happened here? How did my auto sweeper's temperature reset to 30 degrees? Wait, what? Unless it overheated completely and it was repaired, and that reset it to 30, but that's not all, that's also not how that works. How did my auto sweeper reset to 30 degrees when my conveyor loader is at a clear 200? What? Yeah, I'm telling you, sometimes that thing's happening. Are there any gerrymandering I want to vote 2 times? Yeah. Okay, I think it's time for him to come back down here. I think you haven't made enough now. So let's do this. And then let's put on your suit again. So we can get those data banks right here. We want those, we need those. And with the data banks, we should be able to complete the research as well. For our wrap hole propulsion right here. Currently 241 out of 250. So that is of course totally fine. And then the rest of the data banks that we get in, once this here is done, can immediately be put into cryofuel propulsion. Because why not? Might as well. Okay, very good. Okay, I think, I mean, the next project is going to be going to space. And I think that is something that we need to tackle next time, because building an entire rocket, I don't have enough time for that anymore. I would have basically another 20 minutes or so. But I don't think that that makes much sense, because in 20 minutes we are not going to accomplish anything meaningful. So I think we are going to save that for next time around. So I think what we are going to do is, one last time, we're going to look at the printing pod right here. And then we are going to open our last blueprint, and then we're going to call it a day. How about that? So let me put that in here. Should be on 2 minutes once again. And we have a bird in option 1 with digging and researching. He is skilled in bedside manner, and he has a bottomless stomach. Then we have some rust on 1,000 kilograms of it, where we currently have 107 tons worth of it. Yeah. We have Joshua right here, rocketry plus 12, innately stylish, a loud sleeper, a kitchen menace, and unempathetic. That is an interesting dupe here. Not good, but interesting. And then we have Frankie. Frankie right here. Ranching, farming, innately stylish, grease monkey, and a loud sleeper. Vladimir, if you want to vote for reject all is actually number 5. So you need to type $, vote, and 5 if you want to vote for reject all. It's just, the option is just called reject all, but the numbers don't change no matter what. On the vote topic, maybe you can make it smaller so the vote doesn't block 50% of option 1. Okay. Let me check that out. We can check that right now, as a matter of fact. Where's my printing pod? Right here. If I open this up, what does it look like? I can do something like this here, maybe. How are we feeling about that? That looks pretty neat, I think. I think we can work with that. I think this is decent. I was going to say move it or put it in a corner. Yep, 100%. I mean, 100%. Your guys' concerns and ideas are legitimate. More than legitimate. So we're gonna see what we can make happen here. Option 2 is currently in the lead with 7. Fast shows Dr. Thomas. Thomas says, all good. Perfect. Love to hear it. And time is up. 0 seconds remaining. Option 2 has won, and that is another ton of rust for us. So let's open up our blueprint right here, and let's see what we have in print. A magma wedge. We already had that one. It can be arranged into giant red polka dots. We know that in common quality. Already had those available to us. So, blueprint-wise, we are back. Finally at status quo. That's great. So next time around, we can unlock him as we play. As that should be. As the game is intended. And yeah, other than that, I think we are looking great. Our research reactor here is doing what it's supposed to. This here is doing what it's supposed to. Still 2.1 cycles until the volcano comes back online. And then over here on the bottom right, our hydrogen vent, also 7.5 cycles left until it erupts and introduces a little bit more heat into our water right here. Yes, two steam turbines and a certain magnitude, a complete overkill. Everybody knows it, but we did that just for future proofing, because we have a minor volcano right here, and we do have another minor volcano down here on the bottom. So if you want to mess with those in the future, we already have the infrastructure available to us. That is the general idea. Okay. Yeah, I think that was a great test run today for our voting function. I think we had a lot of fun. I sure as hell did. I think it works a hell of a lot better than me counting it out in chat between two different chats. I think the voting option makes our life easier, especially when we play the altars. And yeah, if you guys have nothing to do, maybe, just maybe, if nothing crazy happens, I am planning on streaming the altars again tomorrow in the afternoon at some point. Eastern time, of course, probably at around 12 or 1 p.m. is the plan for right now. Again, if nothing crazy happens in my life, that's what we are going to do. So, yes, once again, thank you all for joining. Truly appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday and the rest of your weekend as well. But that is all I have for you today. And with that, I say thank you and peace.